Okay. Welcome into everybody tuning in over on that YouTube stream. It is so good to have every single one of y'all in here with us for the day. We're going to go ahead and hop into the debates with the Trump supporters as per usual. If you've never been here before, then, basically what we do is we just talk to people on the other side of the aisle. We try to figure out why they still support the current sitting president. And, we had our first guest loaded in. I usually like to start the YouTube live streams off with a debate. He told us he supported Trump. Then I started the YouTube live. Then he told us he wasn't actually MAGA. One thing I want to check with all the people that are already tuning into that YouTube stream is, how does my audio sound? Does it sound good? Am I clean? Am I clear? I just want to make sure, because there's been some weird audio issues with the YouTube, like the sound cracking and whatnot. I should be all good on TikTok. I just want to make sure it is also all good over on YouTube. But seriously, everybody tuning in here on YouTube, thank you for being here. I also said by this time today, I'd have a new chair. I still haven't gotten it yet. We had some events unfold last night and this morning, but good. The mic sounds great. Awesome. For everybody that's tuning in on YouTube, guys, make sure to go drop a like on that live stream. And of course, for the near 4,000 people on TikTok, make sure that you're double tapping on your phone screen as well. Let's go and get that very first debate of the day going. Keep in mind, guys, we're going to be very quickly banning people that are breaking the rules. So if you don't want to get banned, just make sure that you're following them. They're pretty simple though, so no worries. The first rule is you just got to be an American adult. Second rule is that you got to be a Trump supporter. Welcome in. Are you following the rules? Are you MAGA? Or are you going to get banned?
Oh no, I'm not stupid enough to be MAGA. No,
Dude,
no.
I fucking love you. I'm not gonna ban you. I fucking love you, dude. Let's go, dude. W guys down below in that comment section. Let's go and get that next guest up in here. What did W man? Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 47.
All right, man. I'm gonna go and give you the mic. Why the hell do you support the worst president of your life, Donald J. Trump? Let's hear it.
You said, why do I support him?
Yeah.
He's cleaning up America.
He's cleaning up America. How so?
He's just, making things happen, getting rid of these bums off the street.
Are you talking about like the federalization of DC and like forcing homeless people to go into state-run facilities?
I mean, just nationwide. Just it's time to just clean up the streets. It's time to just clean up America. Don't you think so?
So what do you think we need to get out of America? Criminals?
Yeah, we need to remove the criminals.
I don't believe you. Because if you thought that we need to ensure that there's no criminals in the streets of the country, then why do you want a criminal running the country from the White House?
Why do you think he's a criminal?
Well, it's not that I think, it's that I know. I mean, because one, he was found guilty of 34 felonies. That's what makes a criminal. And two, wait, just because you don't need to be locked up to be a criminal. You just need to be found guilty of crimes.
What crimes did he do?
Are any of the people on the streets that you think are criminals locked up?
No,
so they're not criminals then, right?
They're not all locked up because they can't all get caught.
But I thought in order to be criminal from your view, you got to be locked up. That's what you told us, sir.
Sir, you can't catch everybody, right?
Oh, okay. So you could be a criminal, not be in jail because you can't catch everybody. I guess we didn't catch Trump, right? He's running the country from the Oval Office with 34 felony convictions on his record. He's running He's running the country from the Oval Office with a grape case on his record. He's held civilly liable for that in a civil court, and then he's gotten away with a bunch of other stuff that he hasn't even been charged with, like when he boasted about perving on naked teens on the Howard Stern radio show in 2005, or his very close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein when he was sending him letters with pictures of naked women and statements saying, may every other day be a new wonderful secret, So once again, we're just going to go back to my main question. You telling me that you care about crime, you want to get criminals off the streets. I don't believe you because you want a criminal to run the country from the White House.
What you just said? You know what's funny about what you just said?
What's funny?
Now, who was in office when Donald Trump was on trial and all of this and this and that?
In office, you mean the executive branch, the Biden-Harris administration?
Yeah, so guess what? Your administration is the reason, apparently, that Donald Trump is for free and doing whatever he wants. Your administration didn't do crap.
Okay.
You got the
exactly. I think your assumption is because you're a Trump supporter that the president just rules the world because Donald Trump wants to play king and have unilateral power over everything in America. But see, the difference between him and Biden was that they recognized and respected the checks and balances and the different parts of our government. So, for instance, like the state justice department in New York that prosecuted prosecuted Trump for his 34 felonies, or the state court where private citizen E. Jean Carroll sued him for raping her. That was separate and distinct and away from our federal executive, the executive branch of our federal government, including the Biden-Harris administration.
Biden had Alzheimer's. Why are you talking about Biden? He had Alzheimer's.
Do you mean Alzheimer's?
Yeah, he had Alzheimer's.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think that you're qualified to make that distinction.
Yeah. I think you don't have. I think anybody who can look at the situation and can tell he had Alzheimer's.
Okay. So then, wait. So then, what's the point of doctors then?
You can keep on defending this bashing.
Wait. What's the point? 1 second. I want to ask you a question. What's the point of medical school if apparently it's all just common sense?
What's the point of medical school if it's all common sense? I didn't say it was all common sense.
Yeah, you did. You said anybody could just like reasonably conclude with common sense that he had
look at this
Alzheimer's.
guy.
So if like anybody could just reasonably conclude that Biden had Alzheimer's with the use of common sense, why do people go to school for 12 years and spend over hundreds of thousands of dollars to get degrees to make this diagnosis?
He has made, sir. You want to act like hundreds and thousands of people didn't see Biden, couldn't even, he don't know right from left, up from down. Come on. You can play this stupid game with anybody else, but you ain't going to play it with me. It's obvious that Biden.
How about this? Watch this. How come an old man with Alzheimer's was able to do better for this country than apparently Jesus 2.0 King Donald J. Trump?
He wasn't doing anything. It was
really?
people behind him doing it. He couldn't make any rash, sound decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify. You can't come to terms with the fact that Biden passed some of the most monumental policy in modern American history, like the PACT Act, like the Chips and Science Act, like the infrastructure bill, that instead you're going to cope and blame the rest of the Democratic Party? Dude, honestly, obviously this is like deranged and insane, but might as well take the W. Oh, it wasn't one Democrat's fault that America was having great policy passed through our government. It was actually every other Democrat's fault. Like what?
Basically, he wasn't making any decisions anyway. You can play stupid if you want to.
Oh, so then you're telling me that, I don't know, like what? Kamala Harris was pulling the strings, so she was actually able to effectively run the country
Biden wasn't
already?
pulling any strings. He wasn't capable of pulling any strings. He was couldn't even know, like I said, he didn't know up from down. Come on, man. You keep on playing.
So, I mean, you're telling me that Biden didn't know up from down, but Trump obviously didn't know fact from fiction. I mean, how delusional do you think he was when he was telling all Republicans that, like, Biden stole 2020 from him with no evidence and then tried to steal it himself? Like, what?
Sitting in the chair. Okay, Trump's done more for America than Biden has done in one day. Than what Biden has done in his whole term. Come on, Biden ain't done nothing. What has he done? What have your administration done? Nothing. You want to keep on saying, oh, that administration over there ain't doing nothing. Your administration ain't do nothing.
I say we make a game out of it. Let's play a game. So you're telling me that Trump was able to do more on day one than Biden did in 4 years. Okay, check this out.
All y'all do is teach. Y'all want to teach
bro,
kids.
Can I ask you to calm down? Can I ask you to calm down real quick, please?
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Let's go and turn it into a little bit of a game. You told me that Trump did more on day one than Biden did in 4 years. You name one thing that Trump did on day one, and you explain why it was good. I'll name one thing that Biden did in 4 years, and I'll explain why it's good, and we'll see who runs out first. I should apparently be the one that runs out first if he's
bums off the street. Getting bums off the street.
Okay, what do you mean getting bums off the street? What policy are we talking about here, sir?
Getting these bums off the street.
Okay, you just repeated yourself. You didn't answer my question. Do you even know that I'm asking you a question right now?
Yeah, I did. You asked me what did Trump do, and I'm telling you,
I'm asking you what policy was this. What did he pass a policy that did this? Is it an executive order? Are you talking about his federalization of DC? What specifically are you referencing?
A policy or executive order? He done it, right?
So how do you know that he's doing it?
Isn't it getting done?
Getting done where? Through what? Through what means? Are you talking about like mass deportation? Are you talking about the federalization of DC? Are you talking about getting quote unquote bums off the street because he's killing poor people by revoking their health care? It's like what are you talking about here? There's like I just need you to be like significantly more clear here so I know what your argument is.
Of course it's starting in DC, but it'll be nationwide soon.
Okay, so how is he getting quote unquote bums off the street?
He's removing them. If you're just living on the street,
you can't just Thanos snap people out of thin air. Where are they going?
In tents. Where were they at anyway? Where were you at anyway? If you were just in the middle of the street doing nothing, you were nowhere. So guess what? You can go somewhere else.
So then, where are they going? Where's he putting them?
Who cares? Go to the woods.
Wait. Who cares? Wait. So I just want to clarify. You're basically okay with our administration, like operating like a secret police and
They
blackbacking
don't
homeless
care.
people and
Why-
taking them to
first of
unknown
all,
locations?
Why? Listen, let me ask you this. Why do
No,
I need to care?
I asked you a very,
People
I asked you a
don't
very
even
clear
care.
question. I asked you a very clear question. So I just want to be sure. Basically, what you're telling us is you support a president operating a secret police that is blackbacking homeless people off the streets and moving them to unknown locations.
They're not black bagging. Everybody knows this. It's been made public. So you're acting like it's being done secretly. It's not. It's not.
Oh, so you
Everybody
okay?
knows
Okay,
it's
so the part I left out is that this is all happening in broad daylight. As long as they're like throwing them in the back of the car with a bag over their head and the handcuffs on their
you're
wrists
being asked to
and
move.
taking them to unknown locations that are
That's
not
not what's
being disclosed to the
happening, sir.
public. As
Sir,
long as
that's
that's
not what's
happening in
happening.
broad daylight, then it's something that you support.
So that's not what's happening. You're being asked to
Okay,
move.
okay.
Where else?
Oh,
And
asked-
if you
asked
don't-
to move?
choose
Asked to
not
move where?
apply,
What do you mean?
If you can go anywhere. You can go off grid, can't you? Can't these people go off grid?
Well,
Right?
it-
People live off grid all the time,
Well,
right?
it seems like you're
What
just
do you
kind
live in
of taking
the city for a living?
like point number
Wait,
one. This
hold
is
on,
still not a
hold
clear
on.
answer, and point number two, you're not actually telling me here what you think Trump is doing. You're just kind of trying to make something up on the spot.
I just told you what he's doing. I just told you clearly what he's doing. You want somebody to go into super hyper detail about what you want.
Do you think that Donald
About
Trump is going to
all these
reduce poverty in America?
policies and- Hopefully.
And would you agree? If what
By-
I have
by
a question.
people
I have a
actually
great-
going out
so I have,
getting
I have a question.
jobs.
So you want more people to get
Stop
jobs?
depending on welfare.
Stop
They
depending on
can.
welfare. Okay. So do you support him
can.
taking 10 million people off of healthcare?
Hey, go get a job.
Go get a job. So you support like the work
Go
requirement on
get a
Medicare?
job. Go get a job.
You're just saying go
Go
get a
get a
job. You're
job.
not answering my question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. Go get a job.
Okay, so
go
you
get
do.
a job so you can
Okay.
have health care.
So you think
So you
that
can have
so you think
healthcare.
that like essential social services should have a work requirement on them?
Right. For the elderly, we can give some
No,
passes. Right?
no. Work requirement for
The deaf,
able-bodied
blind,
adults that
and
can work.
stupid,
But okay,
we can
okay.
give passes. We can
Okay.
understand. We need to help.
Okay.
We need to help those.
Okay, yeah, dude, you've been using like very like derogatory rhetoric the whole time you've been up here. I'm gonna ask you to like, bro, like turn on your brain for the first time ever. Stop like referring to people as like deaf, blind, stupid bums. Like, come on, bro. Like, this should be common sense. You know what I mean? It's like you've obviously never been in a position yourself where you've been low income, where you've been jobless, where you've been homeless. You don't know what can cause those things. You don't know why people are there. And it's like very apparent and very clear to me when you say shit like that, right? Like, come on, just act your age, right? Be an adult, act mature, right? Let's hold some respect for other human beings, just like me and you, right? And let's just talk about this critically. That's why I'm here. Where I'm here to have hopefully constructive dialogue with people that politically disagree with me. And I don't think that hopefully constructive dialogue will include calling people deaf, blind, stupid bums. You know what I mean? That's fair, right? Now I'm going to unmute you. And we're going to go back into the question that I asked. So I just want to ensure, do you think that essential social services should have a work requirement on them for able-bodied American adults that aren't working? Click on your profile picture and hit the icon of the microphone to turn your mic back on. So right now, hit your profile picture. There you go. All right. Answer the question, please. If you need me to repeat it, I will.
Yeah, you need to repeat that.
I got you. Do you think that essential social services like healthcare should have a work requirement on them, preventing able-bodied American adults that aren't working from accessing them?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what another essential social service is? Public roads. Do you think
What'd you
that do you think that in order to like drive on public roadways that are funded by the taxpayers' dollars and considered an essential social service to the American public, should they have a work requirement on them too?
Yeah. Everybody should be working. If you listen.
Okay.
This
So now you shouldn't be able to drive on the road unless you work.
I'm
Wait,
not
so
done.
how are you supposed to drive to the job interview? How are you supposed to drive to the job interview?
Sir, I'm not done.
Yeah, you got it.
If you are an able body and you can technically work and you can actually help your community and your country, then you should be doing that. Now, and if you're just trying to get over, like a lot of people do, and I'm pretty sure you know this, then yeah, you need to place all this stuff in the place so it can stop happening. You want to keep trying to give people the easy route so they can get over the hump and do all of this free stuff. No, do you know how many Americans is out here scamming other Americans, sir? Do you know this?
Okay.
So you want to keep playing this game where people can just get over on other people. Yeah, go get a job. Go help you. Help
Okay,
your
I
community.
think that you're confused. Can I tell you why I think that you're confused?
I'm not confused. You're confused.
I'll tell you
You're trying to-
exactly what you're confused on.
trying to tap dance around what I'm
Are you
saying.
ready for me to drop some facts on you? Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead, drop some facts.
Just because you think that people should work doesn't mean that they should have to work in order to access essential public services. Nobody watching this live, let me make this clear. Nobody watching this live disagrees with the notion that able-bodied American adults should work. Right? Like, nobody disagrees with that notion. We all want a lower unemployment rate. We all want people to have more money. We all want higher qualities of life. We all want better labor conditions. We all want able-bodied American adults to work. Okay? That's fine to say that they should work. Nobody disagrees with you, right? All that I'm saying is that policy to incentivize work shouldn't be coupled with policy designed to give Americans essential public services. That's all that I'm saying, right?
So
I'm not done yet. I'm still cooking. And I thought that the example that I gave you of an essential public service, such as American roadways, would have made this clear to you. But instead, you just told me that you should have to be working in order to have access to public roadways. So let me give you another essential public service. What about like the police force or firefighters? Do you think that in order to call the cops and report a crime, or in order to call the firemen and have them put out a fire, that you should have to be working first, and that if you're unemployed and able-bodied, you shouldn't be able to call 911 or get the firefighters to put out a fire?
No, you shouldn't. You should just call the police. If it's a fire, that's their job, ain't it?
Oh, okay. So you actually are okay with having able-bodied Americans that can work, that aren't working, having access to public services that are paid for by the taxpayer. So what it is obviously also implied that they should have access to healthcare, given that they're low income and need
You're
it.
putting people's life on the line now. Now you're talking about people's lives. Why not call the police? If that's their job.
Okay. So if the public, so you're basically telling me that if these
You
public
don't need a job to have your life saved.
Okay,
but
you don't need a job. You don't need a job in order to have your life saved. What do you think doctors do? What do you think hospitals do? What do you think healthcare does? Healthcare saves lives, bro. That's why it's an essential public service, just like the police, just like firefighters, just like public roadways.
Okay, sir, you done cooking?
Dude, I am. How do you feel about that? How do you? Come on. You know I'm being fair. You know I'm being reasonable. Just admit it.
What's your name again? What's your name again, sir?
My name is Dean.
All right, Dave. This is what we're going to do, because I got something to do. And we can come back. When I come back, we'll finish this debate.
Okay. All right. Joe, just sit on it. Just sit on the idea that anybody, regardless if they're employed or not, regardless if they're able-bodied or not, should have access to public social benefits if they're life-saving, like the police, like the firefighters, and like the hospital, right? That's all I'm saying. Now, feel free to come back whenever and finish the debate. Let's go to move on to the next Trump supporter. Hop in that queue if you're an American adult that is at least 18 years old that supports Trump, and we will get you up here. If you want to skip the line in the queue, go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section, and I'll invite you up here. And also, everybody on TikTok, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. While we're loading the next guest up, let's also get 500 Alex W's. Holy shit, Alex. With a $50 on Super Chat. Alex says, tell the MAGAs to get pushed. Thank you for the love, Alex. Dude, one of the very first donations of the live stream. Coming in swinging, too. Let's get 500 Alex W's, as well as let's get 100 coffee W's for the 10 pounds over on Super Chat. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you so much for the love, you guys. Welcome in. What is going on, Saint? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, man. Just want to clarify here. Make sure you're following the rules. How old are you?
25.
All right, take it away, bro. Why are you MAGA?
I feel like he's a great businessman. He's a strong leader for the country.
Yeah.
I feel like he does stuff for this country that's gonna eat like it's benefiting us. I support the no tax on overtime, no tax on tips.
Yeah.
I love that. The sending people back home, it's like we can't go to Russia and all these other places without being a citizen there. So I feel like that's kind of right. Like you can come here, just have your paperwork right.
Right.
And that's all. I'm not very political, but I just feel like the stuff he's doing is benefit for the country.
I hear you. First and foremost, Dino, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, saying thank you for teaching us what hospitals do. Don't know what we do without you. That's a funny message, Dino. I appreciate you for the love. Show some love to Dino down below, as well as Jillian. Thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat as well. Thank you so much. Saying, after watching how tough it was here yesterday, wasn't expecting to pop in today to this debate. Thank you always, Dean. Having a tough Sunday, but glad to come into the live and put some things into perspective. Jillian, it's good to see you again. You are literally always hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the love. As well as Little Fish, thank you for the $5, and Gavin with the $5 as well. And Little Fish, in response to your question, it's always a consideration that we're making. As well as Lola, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal, saying, hope you're having a a great day. How's your chair? I didn't get a new chair yet. It's still on the to-do list, but thank you for the $15, Lola. Show some love to Lola and all the donors down below in that comment section. Now back to you, Mr. Cent. You're telling me that you support Trump because of things like no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Listen, man, I get it, right? But when we consider the rest of that bill that passed no tax on tips and overtime, I think that we have a different perspective. So first and foremost, you only get no tax on tips and overtimes up to the deductibles of $12,000 and $25,000. And second of all, it expires in 2028, so it's only in effect for 2 tax years. Okay? And there's a lot of other provisions in the bill that will really hurt you. It's also rolling back a lot of clean energy credits offered under some Biden-Harris administration, which is supposed to reduce our clean energy output by upwards of 72%, which is reducing the overall energy supply, which is causing inflation. And this has led estimates from the Congressional Budget Office to indicate that the average American is going to be paying an additional $500 per year for energy. It's also defunding healthcare, food stamps, free school student lunches, intellectuals in the arts, education, and for all these reasons and more, we get estimates from the Committee on it's not the Committee on a Responsible Federal Budget. It is the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities that tells us the total effect of this bill is going to hurt the average American and everybody that makes less than the average American, even when we factor in things like no tax on tips or no tax on overtime.
I'm just curious, can you name 3 things Joe Biden did that benefited us?
Obviously not. He did nothing that benefited us. Just kidding. He did a lot. The PACT Act was awesome. It was a near $1 billion investment into the VA. Because of the PACT Act, because of that near $1 billion investment, over 1 million veterans that weren't covered prior now have coverage. So giving 1 million veterans health insurance is a really good thing. Another good thing he did was the Chips and Science Act that directly invested close to $40 billion into the production of chips on American soil, bumping our production from sub 1% of the global chip supply globally to close to 30% in the next 3 years. That was also great. Another great thing he did was the infrastructure bill that invested nearly $1 trillion into renewing American infrastructure in cities, towns, and districts across this country, creating more jobs, sparking economic growth, and sparking a massive surge and investment into American manufacturing. And he actually left before I finished the third thing. Oh, well. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. I'm going to get you pulled up here. Sorry, I had a sneeze. Luckily, I was able to mute the mic there at the last second. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here for the 7.5 thousand people hanging out with us in here for the day. Good to have every single one of y'all in here with us. Keep in mind, guys, we have rules here. We do have rules. The rules are simple, though. If you want to join, you just have to be an American adult that is 18 years old of age or older. And you got to support Trump. If you don't follow the rules, I'm going to ban you, right? And we've been banning people super quickly today. It has been very glorious to watch all of the trolls and liberals get banned. I'm just kidding, but we are banning everybody pretty quickly that's not following the rules. Hi, Sophia. Are you a Trump supporter, or are you going to get banned?
I'm a Trump supporter.
And how old are you?
20.
20. What year are you born in?
2005.
Okay, what month?
January.
All right. You know what, Sophia? I'll trust you. Why do you support President Trump? Lay it on us.
I support President Trump because Cookie King wants you.
All right, Sophia, you're banned. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and get Aaron loaded into the stream. Here we go. Ruby, thank you for the $5 on Super Chat, saying, hey, Dean, just caught live watching your videos. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good day as well, Ruby. Show some love to Ruby down below. That's Ruby spelled R-U-B-I-I. Thank you. Welcome in, Aaron. Are you MAGA or are you banned? Okay. Banned. Moving on to our next guest, Alex. Here we go, everybody. Let's also try to get up to 1 million likes. We're nearly halfway there, and we've only been live for 10 minutes. That is glorious. Welcome in, Alex. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
I'm 26, about to be 27. You?
Well, happy early birthday, man. I am 20, about to be 21 here in about a week and a half. Take it away, Alex. Why do you support the man, the myth, the failure, Donald Trump as president? I'm all ears.
Well, So I'm Mexican American, and I'm so happy he's finally taking action against the drug cartels in Mexico.
Just, we gotta spell that word out. I know it's weird. It's
The
just,
DRUG.
yeah, I know it sucks.
All that.
It sucks, but that's just TikTok for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry for that. But basically, yeah. So I was raised in Mexico, and then I moved to the U.S., Miami, and then basically our country is rigged, where the president of Mexico is owned by those people. So I'm so happy that the president.
What action
Donald
is he
Trump,
taking against them?
Well, against the media, you get to see like all the troops that he's sending, and then I don't know why.
Those aren't for the cartels in Mexico. No, those are for rounding
Yeah,
up
well,
undocumented immigrants on
what
American
can you
soil
tell
for
me
his
about
mass
last
deportation.
week? What about last week? There was or this week actually, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, the president of Mexico just took, I don't know, I have no clue how she did it, but Donald Trump threatened her, okay? And then all of a sudden, she pulled out of her pocket over 10 members and threw it out to Donald Trump. How does that even make sense?
Okay, I'm not really clear on what you're telling us here.
Yeah, so-
the only news that I see from her is that she's rejected Donald Trump's troop plan to help fight the cartels in Mexico. So it actually looks like they're saying that the U.S. forces are unwelcome.
Look up Mexico sends 26 members to the U.S. in deal with Trump. What can you tell me about that?
Okay, yeah. So in over 200 days, he's apparently gotten 26 members of the cartels to be in American jail. I don't think that's too huge, if that makes any sense. 26 people?
What do you
Are you
mean?
kidding me?
What do you mean it's not too huge? Like this person here,
26
like,
people
look it
in
up.
like 200 days?
Go on Google, look up 20. Mexico sends 26 C members to the U.S. Okay, the picture I'm watching there on the screen is a person from Michoacan. Is like
No,
the
listen.
one of,
Wait. I just
yeah.
want to clarify that you're telling us that putting 26 members of the cartel in jail is more important to you than America as a whole. Like you're okay.
100%. Like
What?
why is there a bounty of $50 million to get Maduro?
Wait, whoa. You just affirmed that locking up 26 people is more important than making the lives better of over 330 million. You're deranged.
Like, you sound very knowledgeable. So tell me, how many people have died over fentanyl in the last 2 years?
Now I gotta kick you. I mean, Alex, I already told you that you can't even say DRUG or the names of DRUGs. Now I gotta remove you from the live, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on to Cole. Let's go and get that next guest up here. I told him the rules. He wasn't following them. I mean, he caught us stray, but that's just TikTok TOS for you, unfortunately. Welcome in, Cole. Do you support Trump?
No, I don't. I'm sorry for joining my...
No worries. Banned! Moving on to the next guest. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded up in. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump and you want to come up here and have a conversation with us. Make sure that you're an American adult that is at least 18 years of age and you are ready to come up here and have a conversation with me. We're going to be banning people that break the rules. Pretty super duper simple. We got Reckless loading in. Also, if you're watching and you want to support me, you want to support the stream, you want to support the independent journalism and debates that we do here, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. Yeah, I'll get 100% of those proceeds. They go straight to me.
Hey, you a bitch for saying the N-word for real, yo.
Do you think I'm racist?
You said the N-word,
do you think
yo,
that
I ain't gonna lie.
I did say the N-word when I was
Yeah,
14.
you racist as hell, yo. I ain't gonna lie.
Question, how do I stop being racist?
You stop saying the N-word.
Oh, I've already done that, so that means I'm no longer racist, right?
Nah, you
Okay,
did
so
not,
then-
bro.
so then how do I
know
stop
your
being
bitch ass
racist?
said it. In secret, you say it, bro.
Okay,
Stop saying the N-word,
well, I
yo.
mean, if we could just assume that people say the N-word in secret, even when we...
And you vape. And you a bitch.
Listen, if we could just assume that people say the N-word in secret, even though we have reason to believe that they don't, because, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, like, they're a pretty large, like, political activist that stands against racism and stands against oppression and fights for the rights of marginalized communities. If that's just something that we could do, I'm just going to assume that you're secretly a Nazi. Yeah, you're real POS. You're secretly a Nazi.
Yo, black people can't be Nazi. Black people cannot be Nazi. What are you talking about, bro?
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Well,
you a bitch.
You secretly thought what Hitler did was good.
Black people cannot be Nazi, yo. You a bitch.
Wait. I'm just saying that you secretly thought what Hitler did was good. Since we could just like assume like random things of people with no reason, even when we have reason to believe it's false. If that's what you're just telling me we could do now, right? Like obviously,
Yeah, I know you say the N word, white boy.
Okay.
I know you say it, white boy.
And how do you know that?
You a bitch. You a white boy.
And how do you know that?
Cause you white, boy. You a bitch.
Oh, do you just assume that like every white man secretly says the N-word?
I assume you do.
Okay. So if it's about me,
Every white man says it, yo.
every
Y'all
white.
all trash.
Okay. All right. Well, no, I don't think that's true. But one
Feel it
question:
trash, yo.
does that also apply to Trump?
Yes, it does. He a bitch.
Okay.
He a bitch. You a bitch.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to the next guest. Let's go and get the next guest up in the box here. Everyone, just give us a minute. Hop in that queue if you support Trump and you like to come up here. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do not support him, but I was very surprised.
All right. I unfortunately got to remove you. Yeah, no, I mean, I could definitely sympathize with the notion that a lot of white guys are racist. A lot of white guys say the N-word. But no, not every white guy. That's a very unfair assumption. Welcome in, Doc. Do you support Trump?
No, I do not support Donald Trump.
All right. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ban you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. Right now, everybody, make sure you're hopping in that queue if you support Trump and you want to come up here and have a debate with me. We got Blake loading in right now. Everyone, just give us a minute, you guys. Just give us a minute. Also, yo, Ashley, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that. I love Ashley. Let's get 150 Ashley W's down below. Thank you so much. Ashley says, debating people who have one brain cell is hard. You're doing the Lord's work. You know what? Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. I've gotten pretty good at it. I like what I do. My patience has developed, and I'm feeling good. Welcome in. What's going on, Blake? Do you support Trump?
Hey, what's up, Dean? Yeah, I do support Trump.
And how old are you?
31.
All right, Mr. Blake, take it away. Why do you support the man, the myth, the failure, one of the worst presidents of American history, Donald J. Trump, as our president today?
I'll disagree with your failure. He's deported a lot of illegals.
Yeah, I think that's one of his many
bring up
failures. I think that mass deportation is really bad.
Well, let's bring up what just recently happened with the truck driver that he Killed, because you can't say it right. So I'm gonna spell it out.
Wait. Donald Trump killed a bus driver?
No, the truck driver with the ICE deportation. The truck driver was an illegal driver.
Okay.
Came from Mexico.
Okay, so there's an undocumented immigrant driving a truck. You know that you
A
don't.
semi-truck that came from.
You don't need ICE to crack down on that. You know, you just need a cop to pull them over, like cops do. Right, so like for instance, professional CDL drivers, when they're driving through the mountains, like oftentimes throughout the year, they'll have to like stop and be inspected and like give their papers, like their professional CDL license, etc., to like a cop at the inspection point. And also just, you know, drivers get pulled over for minuscule things and random inspections for CDLs. So I mean, you don't really need ICE to stop undocumented immigrants from like driving big rigs.
As a CDL holder myself, you have to know English. That's one of the biggest things.
So to pass the CDL test in all 50 states, you have to be able to read English, and you have to be able to. No, you actually don't need to be able to read English. Actually, no. They only issue the test in English, so you do. You have to be able to read English, and you have to be able to understand spoken English.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting to the point is that if this driver was never got his CDL in the beginning, which came from California, one of the most Democrat states. We can agree probably on that.
Wait. If there's an undocumented immigrant driving a big rig, they don't have a CDL.
Yeah, he has a CDL. You
can't, you can't get a CDL license unless you're a citizen. So that's false.
Go ahead and Google it.
I already have. I've already had this conversation with many big rig drivers. Like I listen. I appreciate the work that y'all do, but like you are definitely wrong about this. You have to be a citizen in order to get a professional CDL license.
No, you don't. I mean, it's,
okay.
You may say they do, but he did not. And this was from California, which is kind of ironic because California says they don't need ID to vote, which kind of contradicts everything because that would give him a reason to get in to vote and do an election.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'd like to clarify. So you don't have to be a citizen to get a CDL. You just have to have like a legal status in order to get a CDL. So that means that you can be a resident, right? So, but undocumented immigrants don't have a legal status. So undocumented immigrants can't get CDL licenses.
But he did.
Okay.
He had a CDL.
He didn't. So then he wasn't an undocumented immigrant, and you're wrong.
He was undocumented.
Bro, dude, stop fucking lying. Like, come on, this is outrageous. I just looked it up. I just gave you the information. You're denying reality. Go ahead and give me a source that shows an undocumented immigrant without a legal status was able to get a CDL. Dude, like what? Come on, bro. Oh my goodness. Sarah, thank you so much for the $1 over on Vilma. I appreciate you so much for the love. Jeez, what is this reduced down to, folks? What is this reduced down to? Somebody in the chat asked if this is pre-recorded. It is not pre-recorded. Not at all. Okay, we were waiting on him. Somebody in the chat says, yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I guess we'll give this guy a second to figure his, stuff out. Okay, we'll just leave him here. We'll go ahead and get somebody else to come up onto the live. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump and you want to come up here and have a conversation. We got Josh loading in. Hi,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. And welcome back, Blake.
Sorry, I was looking it up. It's New York Post, Washington News, Fox News. It's all illegal immigrant, undocumented, that obtained the CDL through the state of California. And it resulted in 3 people's death. And then also, let's talk about Laken Riley. That was
okay. I'm so sorry. I just looked up undocumented immigrant with CDL license. Literally nothing popped up. Well, in fact, the first thing that pops up is information about my state saying that undocumented immigrants can obtain a standard driver's license in Colorado. However, they cannot qualify for a CDL. So,
look up the Florida semi truck driver does a U-turn on the turnpike. Something right around there. I mean, it pulls up on every news channel.
Okay.
Somebody
shocking footage shows undocumented
I can
immigrant
drop a link
driver.
for you too if you'd like.
Yeah. Give me a minute. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Okay. Yeah, your source is a random Twitter account. No, I'm not. So at Breaking 911, posted a tweet saying the alleged semi-truck driver who unalived 3 people while making a U-turn turns on Florida Turnpike is an undocumented migrant who was granted a commercial driver's license by the state of California. That's your source. Okay, I think that you're going to need to do a little bit better than a tweet from some random account. And even the tweet from this random account uses words such as alleged.
It's not from a random account. It's not just from one news source. It's from multiple news sources.
They're all. This is all just going back to the reporting from that random fucking tweet on Breaking 911. And then even in their article, they don't affirm that this guy has a CDL.
Even
dude, I just looked it up, bro. Literally, just like look up. Can undocumented immigrants get a CDL in California? The first thing that will pop up is that no, they cannot.
Okay, you say that they cannot, but they do.
No, dude, no, because attaining a CDL is a legal process through the DMV.
Can you prove that they do not, though?
Yes, I can. My proof is that it's illegal.
Because
yes, I can. My proof is that the DMVs in California are not authorized to grant CDLs to undocumented immigrants. They can't. It is against the rules in the statutory guidelines and regulations of the Department of Motor Vehicles inside of the state of California. Yeah, that's my evidence that you're wrong, Mr. Blake. Come on, what are we doing? Naughty, thank you so much for the $10 over at YouTube Super Chat, saying always Laken Riley and never the children who got unalived in Ovade due to a lack of gun control. And Laken's family asked her tragedy to not be used for political purposes. I appreciate you for the $10, Naughty. Yeah, bro, they've used her name in vain. They used her name to pass a bill that will actually just ensure there's more young women that end up like her. It's so incredibly sad. And he left once again. Holy shit. Okay, bro, 1 second. Somebody in the chat keeps on spamming that it's pre-recorded. Bro, like, what do you want me to do? Okay, watch this. I'm going to type back to you in the chat. It's not pre... Pre-recorded. What are we doing? Okay. Also, for everybody in the TikTok live stream, I appreciate y'all so much for being here. We are an hour into the live stream. We're gonna go ahead and hit a restart just for the safety of the stream. I apologize that we got to do this. Unfortunately, they're hammering down extra hard on these political debate live streams with no reason, no intention, no purpose. Just for the safety of the live stream, we're gonna go ahead and hit that restart. So if you are one of these 7.5 thousand people in the TikTok live right now, and you want to make sure to come back after the restart, they only take around 10 seconds. First and foremost, go ahead and hit that follow button that my finger is pointing at right now. If that button right there is red, hit that shit. That is the fallback to find the live stream. That is the fallback to find the live, because then it'll just pop up in your following list. Now, here are the instructions to make sure you find your way back after the restart super quickly. The moment the live ends, you'll see this pop up. It'll say live has ended. As well, it will show my profile picture. If you click on the profile picture on that pop-up that says the live has ended, you'll be directed to my account page. Super simple, super easy. Once you land on my account page, count to 10, refresh my account page by pulling down on my feed, and then you will see a glowing red orb illuminated around the profile picture on my account page. Click on that, and then you'll be directed into the live right after we restart. The restarts are super short, super simple, super sweet. They only take like 10 seconds. They're really easy, but unfortunately, we got to do it once or twice a day. So everybody, I'll be right back. Those are the instructions on how to come back. I will see you all very, very shortly. Let's go and do that right now. 10 seconds or less. See you soon. For everybody on YouTube, you already know I don't got to do this with you. It's just TikTok that sucks. So yeah, we are already back on TikTok though. While we get that TikTok live stream restarted, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the Venmo and the PayPal to see if there's any donations that I have missed. Let's go to take a look at that. There is. Yo, Colby, thank you for the $2 over at Venmo. Appreciate you for that love. Anna with the $10. Thank you so much, Anna. Let's go to get 100 Anna W's down below in that chat while we're hitting the restart. Anna with the $10 says, me and my boyfriend are watching. We love seeing you wreak havoc among the Trump supporters. Keep it going. I appreciate that. Shout out to Anna and Anna's boyfriend. As well as Sarah, thank you for the $1. You are awesome. And then Isabel with the $5 over on PayPal, saying your stream is my favorite falling asleep audiobook. At the moment, let's go, Isabel. I'm happy. You know, the streams are pretty nice. They're nice to listen to when you're doing chores or trying to go to bed. Yeah. Anyways, for everybody tuning back in on TikTok from that restart, everybody right now, please get to double tapping away on that phone screen. Please get to sharing this live out with a handful of friends. Please get to spamming that chat. All of these things are things that we can do in order to get this live stream to shoot out and across that For You page. So, let's focus on that. So hopefully we could get some Trump supporters in here to debate. We're going to go ahead and get that very first guest up of the day, guys. Make sure if you are in that queue that you're following the rules. The rules are simple. Just got to be an American adult that supports Trump. What's up, Isaiah? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay, and how old are you?
23.
Perfect, man. Quickly before we debate, Addison, spelled Addysen. I really appreciate you for the $15 donation over on Venmo. I just read your message, and I'm really happy that you enjoy the streams. Thank you for the love, Addison. Everybody watching, show some love to Addison. And Mark with the $18 over on PayPal. Show some love to Addison and Mark, y'all. Mark says, Dean's IRL debating. No pre-recorded detected here. Yeah, no, man. This is all very in the moment and on the fly. As well as S-Ray with the $10 on Super Chat saying, cheese it fun. I adore you, Dean, but please don't eat half and put it back in the box. Oh, no, you guys caught me doing that. That's bad. Isaiah, take it away. Why do you support Trump, man?
I just like his stuff with like food and health-wise, and
okay, so
getting good food in school.
Yeah, so he's ensuring that the health outcomes of Americans are going to be worse. It's not something you should support.
Well, I don't want everyone eating vegan food and looking like you know.
Well, I'm actually not a vegan. I love making steaks. It's one of my favorite things to do. So are you saying that eating a bunch of meat and winding up looking like me is a bad thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a vegan.
No, you are.
No, I'm not a vegan. I love meat.
Oh, yeah, I bet you do love meat.
I love it so much.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Uh-huh. He ran away. I think I made him uncomfortable. My bad. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded in right now, everyone. Just give us a minute. We got William loading up in. Everyone, just give us a minute. Oh my God, dude, let me tell you, dude, there's like 20-year-olds, like, like men that support Trump with like the low IQ. They're like, dude, they're just so easy to like fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. You know, I hope that he like wakes up to truth one day. We got our next guest loading in right now. All right, let's go ahead and see what that next guest has to say. Everybody just do be patient. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you do want to join. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you do want to join. We got that next guest loading in right now. Hopefully it'll be a good debate, quite frankly. Who is next? Let's go ahead and get I don't know, who's next? What about, I'm conflicted. Caitlin, we'll get Caitlin up here. Caitlin, please be MAGA. Please be MAGA. Sandra, thank you for the galaxy. Hi, do you support Trump or are you going to get banned?
I do.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Great. Quickly before I hop into the debate, Juliana, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love, Juliana. Juliana says, I love everything that you do. Thank you. You were awesome. Everybody watching, show some love to Juliana in those live chats. Thank you so much, Juliana. And yeah, Caitlin, take it away. Why do you support such a terrible president? Mr. Trump, very bad. Boo.
Okay, so I just want to preface off by saying, like, I don't support some of the things that he's done, okay? I can see both sides of the debates, you know. The main reason why I would say I support him as a president is because most other countries respect him.
That's not true. What?
He just shook hands with Putin and Biden never did.
Yeah, I'd actually say that out of all of the world leaders, Putin has the least respect for him. Putin has made him his little lapdog, okay? Let's make that clear. We know that the Kremlin was inserting pro-Kremlin propaganda into Republican media. We know that right-wing pundits like Tim Pool and Benny Johnson were getting paid $500,000 per month to be anti-Ukraine and pro-Kremlin. And we know that some of the propaganda they were installing into Western media was the idea that we were sending too much money to Ukraine and we need to back off. The reason why they wanted that propaganda to spread was because if we were to stop sending money to Ukraine, it'd make Ukraine weaker, meaning it'd be easier for Putin and Russia to hit Ukraine harder to try to annex and steal their land, right? And that propaganda was able to convince Donald Trump of running on that agenda of defunding Ukraine. That's what he did, which only made Ukraine weaker, which then caused Russia to launch their largest attacks yet, and has now caused the war to go on an additional 205 days past the first day of his term when he promised he could end it. And he got played like a fiddle, you know? Even he was saying, bro, I don't like, Putin's not like this. Why isn't he, you know, negotiating peace? It's because Putin fucking played him and he's too stupid to know it.
Okay. I see your point. I'm going to respect your points, obviously. I'm just going to say that he said whenever Trump first ran that if he would have gotten the presidency in the first place, that the war would never have started.
So now we're citing Russian propaganda for our arguments. That's very late stage MAGA of you. I gotta say, you know, I can't believe the day is here where now Trump supporters are giving us the word of mouth of a ruthless, murderous dictator to justify their support for the president.
Right. Okay. Whatever. But let's just say that it was not just Russian propaganda. It was said on multiple accounts and said by multiple different Americans as well.
Okay. Well, I bet multiple Americans have repeated that propaganda just like you. All right. But I don't think that there's any merit to the claim. What's the merit to the claim that if Donald Trump was elected in 2020, it never would have happened?
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you, but it's fine.
Well, I didn't make a statement. I asked a question. What is the merit to the claim that if Trump was elected in 2020?
Propaganda.
Okay, so then give the merit to the claim that shows it's actually true. What's the reason to believe that if Trump was elected in 2020, Russia would have never have invaded Ukraine?
Okay. Can we move on to my next point? I'm sorry.
Why would we move on when we haven't finished out your first one? I still feel
well, because I feel like every time I try and bring up a point, it's just shut down immediately, which, you know, that's debating. I get it. But...
Well, I shut it down by just calling it propaganda because that's what it is. And you were like, no, it's not propaganda. It's true. So now I've taken a step back.
Everything is propaganda.
I'm being a little bit kinder to you. I'm giving you a well and ample opportunity to prove it's not just propaganda by giving us the merit to prove that it's actually true. What proves that it's true?
What proves that anything's true, honestly?
Evidence, reason, fact, and logic.
Yeah, but most news reported is propaganda by some merit.
Are you now trying to argue that your claim was propaganda?
No, I'm trying to argue that every claim is propaganda. If you want to put it that way.
So you are arguing that your claim was Russian propaganda?
It could be. But that means that most of your claims could be democratic propaganda.
Okay, which one of my claims are quote-unquote democratic propaganda?
I'm just saying in general.
No, that's not how it works. If I'm able to effectively demonstrate why what you're saying is Russian propaganda, and I take it one step further by effectively demonstrating this due to the fact that you can't give any reason for it to be true, you can't just say, no, you. Like, it's not how it works. You know, like, if you want to argue that there's some things that I believe in, if you want to argue that there's some things that I talk about on the live, if you want to argue that there's claims that I make publicly in front of thousands of people that are false, that aren't true, that are propagandistic, and are just talking points from the left, feel free to make that argument. You just have to be able to give reason for it, right? You weren't able to give reason to justify your point that Russia never would have invaded Ukraine if Trump was elected in 2020. Now you can't give any reason to justify your point that I spew democratic propaganda.
I mean,
so is there any claim that you can make that would support the idea that Trump is a good president that you can give reason for?
We would never know if he could have stopped the war in the first place because he wasn't elected.
Okay, so then why did you say that we didn't know that he would have stopped the war if he was elected?
I'm saying that that's what propaganda has said, okay?
Awesome.
Yes.
So what's next?
Do you still talk on abortion rights or no?
Yeah, I think that women and girls should have access to abortion. It's a big obvious, big duh.
I think that we should have laws on them, but not the laws that we do have. So I'm currently 20 weeks pregnant, and I would say that it is my body. I am able to make that decision for myself if I wanted to abort my child, which I wouldn't, but I believe that it should only be in certain aspects that abortion should be legal.
Okay, so you think in elective circumstances, like in the case where a man and a woman engaged in intercourse with consent and they're adults, that the woman shouldn't be able to get an abortion?
I believe that it should be in illegal cases like rape and incest.
Okay, so it should only be legal in cases of rape and incest. So do you know what elective abortions are?
Yes, that's whenever you could just choose to do it.
And you think that those should be banned?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what's the argument that elective abortion should be illegal?
Because life starts at conception.
Okay, life does start at conception. That is a scientific fact. That is not an argument for why it is morally wrong.
But all bodies have rights, right?
No.
Yes.
No, absolutely
Why should not?
Do you think that we're violating the bodily autonomy of dead bodies when we have morgues cut them open?
No, I'm saying
do you think that doctors are violating?
Bodies have rights.
All live bodies have the right to life. So you think that doctors that pull the plug on brain dead patients in the hospitals are murderers?
I'm saying that they still have the right to live.
So then you do think that doctors that pull the plugs on brain dead patients in hospitals are murderers because they're taking that right to live away from them. They're violating.
No, because they have no life.
They are biologically alive. That's what the
No,
life
there are
supply.
machines keeping them alive.
Okay, so if some external influence is keeping you alive, then you don't have the right to live?
No. If
No,
a machine is keeping you alive, you don't have the right to live.
Okay, so if we had artificial wombs that grew fetuses inside them, a machine would be keeping the fetus alive. You think it'd be okay for us to kill those fetuses? Why?
Because those fetuses are alive, and they have a brain, and they have a heart, and they are pumping their blood through their body.
Okay, as supported
And
by an
they will one
external
day be
machine, just
able
like
to
the brain dead patient. So,
No,
like,
because they
seemingly
have-
under your view, this wouldn't be wrong, right?
They will have the brain to be able to think and have choices.
Right, but I
A brain dead
you said
patient will have no.
you said it yourself. They will have this in the future, okay? Well, like, listen, the way that we give rights to things isn't based upon things that might be true in the future. They have to already be true today. Like for instance, I turned 21 in about 2 weeks. I can't go to a bar and ask for a drink of for a cocktail and argue that I should have the right to the cocktail now because I will be 21 in the future. Right? The same way I don't think that we should give the right to life to a fetus because they will have conscious experiences in the future. No, they have to actually have them first, just like I have to actually be 21 first.
Okay, but that was completely just not on subject at all.
Well, the conceptual relationship between those two ideas is the idea that we don't give people rights based upon things that could be true in the future. We give people rights based upon things that are already true right now.
Okay. I just saw someone in the comments say abortion is a human right.
I agree.
It's a choice, not a right.
Wait. So it's a choice. Okay. It's a choice for me to speak, right?
Correct.
So would you say that I don't have a right to free speech?
No, I'm saying that's constitutionally correct that you do have a right to speak.
Okay. So
It's not
things that are choices can be
correct that
rights.
You can kill another person.
So, well, I mean, actually, it was before Roe v. Wade got overturned under the privacy clause of the 14th Amendment. So, would you argue that before Roe v. Wade got overturned in 2021, that abortion was a human right?
No.
Okay, so then why did you argue that it wasn't because it's not in the Constitution, but even when it was, it still wasn't? That's pretty hypocritical.
No, because it's been a constitutional right that freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of everything. And right now we're supporting freedom of speech. We're both speaking. We're both adults.
Can I actually just tell you why I think abortion is a human right?
Go ahead.
Okay. Can we agree that we have a right to bodily autonomy? And that if anybody infringes upon our right to bodily autonomy without good reason, that's a human rights violation. A good example of infringing upon somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason that would amount to a human rights violation would be like kidnapping, right?
Okay.
Right? So in other words, if we infringe upon people's right to bodily autonomy with no reason, or at the bare minimum, no good reason, we're violating their human rights. I don't think that there's any good reason to infringe upon a woman's access to abortion. I think all arguments fall short. I think the argument that abortion is wrong because it's human falls short because there's a lot of circumstances where it's not wrong to unalive humans, i.e. brain dead patients. I think that the idea that abortion is wrong because the fetus is alive falls short because there's a bunch of things that are alive that we kill every single day that we don't think is wrong, like us non-vegans killing cows, chickens, and pigs. I think that the argument saying that it's wrong to kill a fetus because it's genetically related to the mother falls short, because even if it wasn't genetically related to a mother, i.e. IVF from a surrogate, you would still say it's morally wrong. And just because all of these reasons for why abortion is wrong fall short of being good reasons because they're either contradictory, hypocritical, or you don't actually apply these principles in all-encompassing circumstances, it amounts to a human rights violation because you have no good reason to infringe upon the woman's access to abortion.
Okay. So you said that kidnapping is an infringement of bodily rights.
Yeah.
Which, correct, but kidnapping and abortion is not the same thing because if you're putting it
categorized under like the one aspect that they share is a violation of somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason.
Yeah, but nobody's making you get an abortion.
Well, no, it's that you're making them not get an abortion. That's a human rights violation.
So that would be the same thing as saying, oh, you can't get an abortion and you can't kidnap kids?
So like kidnapping a child is violating that child's right to bodily autonomy. Denying a woman access to abortion is violating that woman's right to bodily autonomy. Like, I understand that kidnapping and pro-life policy are significantly different. They just happen to share one similarity, which is violating people's rights to bodily autonomy.
Okay, but you're not making sense on that one, but...
wait, do you want me to, like, further explain it? Like, I mean, like, think about it. You should be able to do what you want with your body, given that there's no good reason you shouldn't.
Okay, so you're saying
right?
you should be able to do what you want with your body.
Given that there's no good
and
reason
you're saying
you
that
shouldn't, right?
kidnappers should be able to do what they want and take a kid.
No, because there's good reason why you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but that's what there's good reason why you shouldn't get an abortion, too.
Okay, and what's a good reason?
It's a child, and that child has the right to live.
And why does that child have the right to live?
Because it can think for itself.
Okay,
Even in the womb,
it can think.
Has brain power.
Okay, so you would say that being able to think and use your brain to actualize subjective experiences is what grants the right to life?
Yes.
Congratulations, you're just as pro-choice as I am, because that ability only emerges at around 20 through 24 gestational weeks due to the development of the thymocortical connections to the prefrontal cortex. This is the current consensus of neurobiologists. If you'd like to read academic peer-reviewed literature on the subject, please go on Google or PubMed.com and type in developmental of fetal consciousness. You will see that the consensus amongst neurobiologists today is that 20 through 24 gestational week point, meaning that it doesn't have those abilities before that point, meaning that you don't think it has the right to life before that point either.
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't have the right to live before that point. I'm saying that it's still growing and it's going to have that
Okay.
brain power
Okay.
to be making decisions,
Yes.
but it can't make those decisions for itself when the mother kills it before it's able to.
Listen. You are saying it doesn't have the right to life before that point, and I'll explain why. You're saying consciousness equals right to life. Okay. Math. If consciousness equals right to life, if no consciousness, then no right to life. If 2 plus 2 is 4, then 2 minus 2 is not 4. I'll give you an analogy. If I could only get into a business if I'm wearing blue shoes, would I be able to get into the business if I'm not wearing blue shoes?
What?
Just answer it.
Okay, if you say it again.
If I could only get into a business if I'm wearing blue shoes, then would I be able to get into the business if I'm not wearing blue shoes?
No.
Okay, so you're saying that blue shoes equal business entry, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if blue shoes equals business entry, if I'm not wearing blue shoes, I don't get into the business. If consciousness equals right to life, if I don't have consciousness, I don't have the right to life. Right? And because the fetus only develops low levels of those subjective experiences, or what we colloquially understand as some sense of consciousness at 20 through 24 weeks, before it develops those attributes, before it has those subjective experiences, before it has consciousness, it doesn't have the right to life.
So what you're saying is brain dead patients don't have the right to life either.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay. Which is what I was saying as well.
So then we agree that
I
you're
wasn't
pro-choice.
saying that. No.
Okay, so
Well, I
What's
am
going on?
pro-choice on some things. I will say I am pro-choice on
no,
some
no,
things.
you're pro-choice for all women and girls access to any and all abortions before
No, I am
consciousness
not.
develops. So what
No,
gives
I
them the
am-
right to life before consciousness develops?
I am pro-choice on the fact that if you
What
if
gives
something
them the right to
illegal
life
happens
before
to you,
consciousness develops?
they're growing. They're
growing?
Conception. Life starts at conception. If you
Right.
have a life, you have the right to live.
Okay, so all lives have the right to life?
Yes.
Are you a vegan?
No.
So where do hamburgers come from?
Cows.
Oh, and do those cows have to die for you to get that meat?
Yes.
So you pay
but
for
that
murder.
has been
you big
a
POS.
what?
So you pay for murder. If all lives have the right to life, why doesn't a cow? I thought they're alive, right?
Can we understand cows?
Can we understand cows?
Yeah. Do you talk to cows?
Do you talk to fucking embryos?
They can hear you.
Unicellular organisms can't hear you, actually.
Okay.
But you know what can?
They
Cows.
get their inner ears at like week 12.
Okay, so you're saying that abortion isn't wrong at week 11?
No, I'm saying that abortion is wrong if you're not raped or incest.
So then what the fuck are we talking about the inner ears for if you don't think that's what gives them the right to live? You're so lost.
Oh my god, okay. Yeah. No, you're just like, every time I bring up a point, you talk over me and then say, listen. That's what you do to try and get other people to grasp your point. I'm putting that in quotes. You can't see me, but I'm putting it in quotes. You're not a real debater. You're just someone that thinks that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, womp womp. Heard it a billion times. Engage with the argument. She left. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go to hop in that queue. If you support Trump, make sure if you're joining the live that you are an American adult that supports Trump. Those are the rules. If you break the rules, I'm going to ban you. Let's go ahead and move on to that next Trump supporter. We have 78 people in the queue. So if you want to skip that queue and come right up onto the live, just go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. And by God, do not break the rules. Are you breaking the rules or do you support Trump as president?
Yeah, I support him.
Great. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Fantastic, my friend. Before we hop into the debate, got 3 people to thank. First and foremost, Elizabeth, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Saying, just tell her, unfortunately, she has internalized the hatred of women. Yep, thank you for the $5, Elizabeth. Janet with the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love. Let's get 100 Janet W's. And then Serena with the $20 on PayPal. Saying, thank you for the daily streams. Keep at it. Thank you for the $20. I really appreciate you for that love, Serena. As well as Oscar with the $11.11 on Venmo. Saying, thank you for the Bean Delight, Oscar. It is so good to have you in here with us for the day. Thank you, Oscar, Serena, Janet, and Elizabeth.
Yo, is this like a commercial?
No, it's me thanking the people that are donating to me through the
bro.
Venmo and the PayPal in my bio.
All right, bro.
Thank you for the fireworks, FIDAR, and Bread. Thank you for the $5 on YouTube Super Chat.
Thank
As
you,
it makes
Alexa,
a better
for the
allowance.
rose. Thank you, Alexa, for the rose.
Do you mind just waiting a second and allowing me to finish thanking my donors? That is very rude and disrespectful of you.
Yeah. Take your
Jillian, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat as well, saying buying Dean's first drink. I appreciate you for that love, Jillian. I'm going to be using that on the night of the first. Oh, geez, it's going to be a fun evening. Thank you for the 20, Jillian. Now, hey, go ahead and take it away. Why do you support Trump, Mr. Greengrass?
Because, I think he's just better. I think he's just a good guy, Look at his face. He looks like look at his, he's very comforting. Like, I like him, I look at his face, I'm like, yeah, bruh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest. Like, MAGA is so late stage, I don't know if you're trolling or not. Are you trolling?
No.
Okay, so you think he's a good guy? Do you typically call rapists good guys?
What? He's not one of those.
Yeah, that was proved by an anonymous jury of 9 inside of a civil court in 2023.
What? Anonymous what?
Unanimous jury of 9 inside of a civil court in 2023.
They gotta be staged, bruh.
What's that?
They gotta be staged, bruh.
What's staged?
That, bruh. There's no way that he's one of those.
Are you 16?
No, I'm 18.
I don't believe you. So my chat, so if you're curious, the chat on TikTok was saying that he was 16. I don't have any evidence that they're right. Like, it wasn't apparent on his page. Like, everybody's saying he was born in 09. It wasn't in his name or anything. But he was just acting like a 16-year-old. Banned. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute here. Only hop in that queue if you support Trump. Please follow the rules, guys. Please follow the rules, guys. Only hop in that queue if you support Trump. Hi. Are you MAGA?
100,000%, yes, sir.
Okay. Could you disconnect any and all Bluetooth devices that you may or may not have connected to your phone? You just sound a little bit muffled. While he's doing that, in the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 600,000 likes over here on TikTok. Also, make sure that you're sharing out this make sure that you're sharing out this live with a handful of friends. And if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of those proceeds. They go straight to me. You could even attach a message that I could read off on live. Same thing goes for the YT. Now, take it away. What's your name?
Thor.
Okay.
Or Black Thor.
Take it away, Thor. Why do you support Trump?
Well, one reason, Ben, is really the only reason I need. He took fake women out of women's sports.
Okay. You're talking about trans women and being a bigot. So, first and foremost, TikTok restricts us from talking about trans people on TikTok Live. I can't talk to you about it. We'll get the live taken down for hate speech. Couldn't tell you why TikTok has decided to be restrictive. I'm not a fan of it, right? But there's another way that I could respond to your position and make you look insane, as you are, without directly talking about the point that you brought up. Are you really telling me that you value making the lives of 10 trans women worse at the expense of also kicking off 10 million people from Medicaid per Donald Trump's big beautiful bill? Are you telling me that you're ultimately okay with supporting him because he'll make the lives of 10 trans women worse, even if it also means ignoring the fact that he kicked 3 million people off of food stamps, 18 million school students off of free school student lunches, and according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, is now effectively reducing the after-tax income of 150 million Americans? And the cherry on top, are you telling me that you're willing to support him, a man, that is boasted about walking into the private spaces of women with naked teen girls and naked adult women inside where they're changing to oogle their naked bodies just because he's kicking 10 trans women out of women's sports? And does that make you a hypocrite? Take it away. Come on, bro. You know how to do these lives. It says that you're a live stream content creator. Unmute yourself. There you go.
All right, so let's go with this from a different angle. Since you said the rules or whatever. Another angle. We're keeping men out of women's restrooms.
Can you respond to what I said? Why are you ignoring it all?
Why are you ignoring that those are men and not women?
Okay, so now the game is to completely ignore everything that Dean says and to be dead set on trying to talk about a topic that Dean has already made clear will get the live banned. Sir, I understand that you have no response to what I said because I'm right and you're wrong. The least you could do is not be annoying about it, by just insisting that I continue to attempt to respond to what you're saying, even though I've already made it clear that I can't because of TikTok terms of service. Give it a response. If you truly care about quote-unquote men and women's spaces, why do you support Trump even though he is a cis man, has boasted about perving on naked teenage girls and grown adult women in women's only changing rooms?
That's cap.
That's cap? What if it wasn't? Just hypothetically. What if it wasn't? Would you still support him if it was true?
But that's cap.
Well, obviously, I lied to you. I'm a crazy Democrat and Trump's a good guy. But hypothetically, if I didn't lie to you and it was true, would you still support him?
Reword your question. Put it a different way.
If Donald Trump had boasted about perving on the naked bodies of teenage girls and grown adult women in women's only spaces, would you still support him?
No.
I don't see that. It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And what you could also say is the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Now, before you even talk, I want to make this point clear. I have this conversation a lot with guys like you. You come up here, you tell me that you wouldn't support Trump if you'd done this. I prove to you that he's done this, and then you still support him. You contradict yourself, you throw your word out the window, and you expose yourself as a raging, spineless hypocrite. It is so embarrassing when people do that. I am pleading and begging you to have a spine, but ultimately the decision is yours. You're at a fork in the road. You have two options. Concede your support for Trump because he has now done something that you said you would not support him if you knew he had done, or be a raging spineless hypocrite. Which one is it?
Well, number one, I'd ask you, where's the proof?
I just played you the proof. That was Trump talking.
That was a short clip of something much larger.
Of Donald Trump talking and admitting to these things.
Can we both admit that context matters?
I don't see any context that could possibly be true to justify or reasonably explain the words we heard him say in that clip.
And another point I would make in addition to that is fake men need to be deported by ICE.
Okay. So do you still support Trump?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, so you took the path of being a raging hypocrite. Here's why you're a hypocrite. I asked you if you would still support Trump if he had boasted about perving on naked teenagers. You said no. I proved to you that he has boasted about perving on naked teenagers by playing you the clip where he boasts about perving on naked teenagers, and you still support him. Did you know that's what a hypocrite does?
That's not the case, though.
It is the case. You heard him say that he liked to walk into the changing rooms where there's no men around, women's only spaces, when they were naked with no clothes on, and he'd look at them and you thought they looked so beautiful, and how he'd get away with this since he owned the pageant. I mean, we've even had women from Miss USA and teenage girls from Miss Teen USA come forward about how this was happening to them when they were 14, 15, 16, and 17 years old, and how what has happened to them perfectly aligns with what Donald Trump has admitted to in this clip. There's no way around the facts here, man. Let me ask you this question. How do you interpret what he said in that clip?
I'd interpret what he said in that clip by just saying he's seen grown women of age that looked attractive.
Oh, and where did he see them?
At the pageant.
Where in the pageant?
At the pageant.
Oh, I think it gets a little bit more specific than that. Where in the pageant? Oh, you don't think it gets any more specific than that?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
No, how about we listen to it again? Let's see if it gets any more specific than that.
Yeah. What you could also say is the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before.
Okay, we already know it's backstage.
show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men
Oh, we know it's backstage where they're getting dressed and ready.
are anywhere. And yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere.
Oh, so we know that it's backstage where they're getting dressed and ready where no men are anywhere. So what do we call a place where women are getting dressed and ready and there's no men anywhere? What do we call that place? We call it a woman's changing room.
Backstage.
And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that like everything is good. You're there.
Yeah, the dress
Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Oh, okay. So we know it was backstage in a
Yeah,
place
backstage.
with no men, with naked women, where they're getting dressed. What do we call that?
Backstage.
Do you think I'm crazy for calling that a private woman's changing room?
We call it backstage. That's it.
So
That's
am
all
I
we call it.
crazy for calling that a private woman's changing room?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'd say
So
leave
so,
it at
guess,
now.
so guess what? You're okay with men perving and sexually exploiting the naked bodies of teenagers and the naked bodies of grown adult women. I never want to hear your ass virtue signaling about caring about women or caring about girls ever again. You don't give a shit about women. You don't give a shit about girls. You don't give a shit about anybody outside of yourself. How do I know this? Because if you don't care about sexual exploitation, what the fuck would you care about? All right. The virtue signal's obvious. It's goddamn annoying. And quite frankly, I bet it pisses off so many women and girls watching this live. The fact that you are tokenizing them and using them as a tool to further your hatred, your bigotry, and your oppression of trans individuals in this country, it's deplorable. It is so sick. It is so gross. You don't care about trans women and women's spaces. You care about trans women being trans women, right? And that's the end of the story. Don't try to dress it up. Don't try to tokenize women to further your argument. They don't like you, so don't use their name to invoke your bigotry. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Because my one thing, and I'm going to make this clear to everybody watching, my one thing here is if you come up here and you make an argument, that's fine. I'll have a conversation with you. But the moment you become a spineless, intellectually lazy coward, and you just lie, you're willfully obtuse because you know that you're losing the debate, and you start rage baiting me, I'm just gonna kick you. But let's go down. Excuse me, I'm coughing a lot today. Let's go ahead and move on to that ex-Trump supporter. Hop in that queue. If you support Trump, I'll happily bring you up here. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen too. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
And how old are you?
Almost 20.
Okay, what year are you born in?
2005.
Perfect. Yo, one second. Yo, Cinda, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Jesus, Cinda. Holy crap, thank you so much for the love. That is Cinda, spelled C-I-N-D-A, with the $50 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Cinda. Cinda says, thank you for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. Appreciate the work you put into your streams. Always a blast. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for the $50. That is so incredibly kind of you. That is so much money. Thank you so much for your kindness. Let's get 500 Cinda W's down below while we start this next conversation. Spam W Cinda's down below, and Mr. Aiden, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
No, I just have a question for you. Do you believe that Trump should have arrested Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. The same liberals who say he was going to start World War III actually want him to start World War III. That's crazy.
Do you think that arresting Vladimir Putin would start World War III?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so, I mean, if it is the case that arresting Vladimir Putin would start World War III, then maybe I wouldn't support his immediate arrest. However, I just disagree with the notion that arresting him would start it. Thank you so much for the motorcycle. I appreciate you for the love. Now, why do you support Trump?
Because he's a good president.
Okay, and why do you think he's a good president?
Policies, bringing back Christian beliefs into the schools.
He's bringing back Christian beliefs into the schools? Do you
Oh
think,
yeah, 100%.
Do you think causing a bunch of
Bible
like
back-
wait 1 second? Do you think causing a bunch of like 14-year-old freshmen to walk around talking about how much they support an adjudicated rapist as president that's redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich is reinstilling Christian beliefs in our schools?
You keep saying he's a rapist, but actually he never got convicted of rape.
Yeah, he was held liable for grape. Say grape instead. Put a G on it for TikTok TOS.
Yeah. But if you do an easy Google search, you're misleading people. He didn't actually he did not get charged with that.
Okay.
It's a very easy Google search.
Yeah.
And also, I got another question for you.
Well,
Since you always
do you mind if I respond to that?
No. I got a question for you. Real quick.
Well, I think that you're running away from allowing me to respond to your claim that he wasn't found guilty of grape. How about I respond to that before you ask your second question?
Yeah, it's an easy Google search though. But go ahead.
Okay.
Because he never got charged with it.
Can we agree that the way that we both define grape would include the forceful penetration of a female member with a man's fingers without consent?
He didn't do that.
No, that is the action that the jury found him liable of. And the reason why they held him liable for SA and not grape was because in the state of New York at the time, they legally defined grape as only the penetration of a female member with a male member without consent. However, since then, they've updated their legal definition alongside 34 other states, and the judge has clarified that, yes, it is true that Donald Trump was found to have raped Eugene Carroll. And you have to agree to this because you agreed that you do personally define grape to include the penetration of a female member with a man's fingers without consent, and that is the very specific action that the jury held him liable for. So, there you go. I'm right.
All right. Well, I got a hypothetical for you today. So, since you're always
another hypothetical.
Yeah.
And anything to run away from why you support Trump. Go ahead.
No, I ain't running away. So, would you rather kill a whole family or support Donald Trump?
What?
You heard me?
Would I rather unalive anybody or support Trump?
Yeah, if you don't support Trump, you have to unalive somebody.
Yeah, I'd rather support Trump.
Oh, you would? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Hey, I have another question for you.
So how about you tell us why you support Trump, and we stop entertaining these incredibly ridiculous questions. What?
Okay, so all right then. Okay, so do you think Trump is racist?
I do think Trump is racist. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're all Democrats are also the same people that are hypocrites because you support Joe Biden, correct?
Do I support him as president, like over Trump? Absolutely.
Oh well, he's a racist too. That's weird.
Yeah, he's done a lot of racist things in his past.
Oh yeah. Well, I can remember one that he did in the 2020, right around the 2020 election. Let's see here.
Wait, so you think I'm hypocritical? Wait, how does this make me hypocritical for calling Trump racist?
Because, bro, your whole message is Trump is this, he's horrible.
He is racist. Totally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that he's more racist than Biden.
Bro, this isn't a race war. You're racist. There isn't no such thing as more racist than another person.
Wait. So you don't think that Hitler's more racist than like 14-year-old boys that say the N-word online?
They're both racist.
But to act that there's not like different levels of harms in which are impeded upon marginalized communities, like due to racism, is like especially when it's being framed in a sense where you're attempting to argue in the affirmation of diminishing how racist Trump is insane, right? You know, I'll give you the clear differences. I'll give you the clear differences between like Biden and Trump, for instance. Like Biden, he's done a lot of racist things in his past. However, Biden has taken accountability for the racist things that he's done. Does this change the fact that he did the racist things to begin with? No. But is this a clear, clean, and stark difference between him and Trump? Yes. Donald Trump has never taken accountability for anything racist that he's ever done. Not to mention Donald Trump's policy today continues to serve to the disadvantage disproportionately of marginalized communities. And that also needs to be taken into note. It's very important. And then I guess one last point that I'd suggest here is, well, Biden didn't end up running against him in the general election. Kamala Harris did. And Kamala Harris isn't racist. So in fact, sir, you are the hypocrite because you affirmed Trump as racist the same way you attempted to affirm Biden as racist, but then you still voted for the racists over the non-racists? I think that makes it clear that all of this is very baseless virtue signaling that you don't care about. How come you supported the racists over the non-racists?
All right, well, you got to stop talking so fast. You need to hit your anxiety pen.
I don't think I'm talking fast. I think you're listening slow.
No. I think you need to hit your vape.
Oh, well, I appreciate you for your input. Now, would you like to answer my question?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you keep saying that Biden said things in his past, but
Well, you're already not answering my question. My question was clear. Kamala Harris is not racist. Donald Trump is, and you've agreed to that. So why do you support the racist over the non-racist?
You keep muting my mic. You're scared, bro.
Because you didn't answer my question, sir.
You're goofy.
And simply asserting my boundaries is not me being scared. It's me attempting to keep you on track to hopefully have a productive conversation. In fact, I would call you scared from running away from the question and attempting to deflect with the very first words that come out of your mouth after I ask the question. I'll go ahead and repeat the question. You've already affirmed that you think Trump is racist. Kamala Harris ran against him in the general election. Kamala Harris is not racist. Why do you support the racist over the non-racist?
What makes Trump racist?
Yeah, for sure. Saying that he thinks that Obama was born in Kenya with literally no reason, even though he has a birth certificate from Hawaii, basically arguing that the black man shouldn't have the job because he's black. Also, he called all black people lazy in 1992. Then he affirmed that this is something that he said in 1997. In 1973, he was sued by the New York State Justice Department for specifically not renting to black tenants, in which he then settled with them and put ads in local New York State newspapers saying that he will not racially discriminate when renting to tenants. It's also the case that he called for the death penalty for the Central Park Five even after their exoneration and refused to apologize for doing such. It's also the case that he's labeled he's launched an attack on marginalized communities under the guise of the use of the term DEI. If there's a black person that has done something that he thinks is wrong, guess what? All of a sudden it has something to do with their race and they're underqualified, and the only reason they're in that position to begin with is because they're black, for their stigmatizing black individuals in the workforce and black individuals in positions of power and so on. However, I think that the most compelling argument that I have that I'd like you to respond to is definitely the fact that he basically assumed that Obama was born in Kenya, born in Africa, in an attempt to get people to not support and or vote for him, since individuals that are not born on American soil are not eligible to run for the presidency, which does literally amount to attempting to deny a job opportunity to a black man because they're black.
Gotcha. Well, a lot of people thought Obama wasn't born in America.
So a lot of people were also racist? Okay, what? A lot of people
that
were
isn't
enslaved.
racist.
Every single
Like,
person
someone
that
wasn't
owned
born
enslaved
here?
individuals were racist.
No, that isn't racist. But anyway,
No, not a but anyway. You just
are
said
a
that's not
hypocrite,
racist.
though.
Okay,
You're
go
definitely
ahead and
a hypocrite.
go ahead and tell
How
me
old are
why
you?
exactly.
How old are you,
Basically, assuming somebody that's black is born in Africa with no evidence, even though you have their birth certificate demonstrating they're born in Hawaii. Explain to me how that's not racist. Take
See,
it
what
away.
you do is you don't let people speak.
No, I'm
But
asking
anyway,
you to speak more and to expand on your answer.
Democrats are just hypocrites, bro. At the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're still running
2020
away.
literally
Yeah.
said-
Oh, but Biden. No, don't worry. I know that you're running, dude. We have close to 10,000 people
I'm not
watching the
running.
stream
There
right
ain't
now.
no
Everybody
running.
sees that you're running. Yeah, you're running because I gave you the
running.
fact
You're
that
muting my
Obama
mic.
had that Donald Trump had perpetuated the birther myth of Barack Obama. You just said it's not racist, then you said, but anyway, Democrats, Biden. No, I want you to stick on one topic. Don't worry, we have the time.
you wanna
today,
talk about
brother.
Trump being racist, but
Continue
you won't talk about the person
responding.
who would've voted
Explain
for
to me
him.
how assuming that a black man was born in Africa with no evidence, even though we have their birth certificate from Hawaii, just to perpetuate
Actually,
the
there was
message
a
that
whole
individuals
thing on it,
should
but
not, just to perpetuate the message that individuals shouldn't support them as president because they were born outside of the country is not racist. Stop running, stop pivoting, stop deflecting, stay on subject, and give me your
You're
explanation.
running. You're muting me. You won't let me speak.
I am muting you because
That's
you are
all you
overspeaking.
do.
me.
All you do is mute people, and you run. You keep running your mouth.
We have
You
a snowflake on the live.
No thanks.
Sound the alarms, everybody. We have quite the snowflake on the live. Now go ahead and give me
Bro,
your
I've
explanation.
seen so many edits of you, bro, crying about people making fun of your anxiety pen and shit, bro. You're weird, bro.
Well, point number one, good to know that you're not media literate. That's a
Bro,
joke.
you do these
just
lives
don't
every
understand
day,
it. And
bro.
point number two, good to know that I'm all over your For You page. Good to see I have a positive
Trump
impact
is-
on younger
Trump is
Americans.
in your head rent free, bro.
Well, I mean, obviously, I live in your head rent-free. Instead of expanding on why you think that it's not racist to basically assume a black man was born in Africa, you want to talk about me and my anxiety pin. Somebody called a wambulance for this fucking child, dude. Act your age, be mature, give an explanation. Why is it not racist to basically assume that a black man is born in Africa even though you have their birth certificate from Hawaii? Calm down. I understand that I'm putting you on the spot. I understand that you don't have an explanation here, and I understand that I'm getting you emotional because I'm proving you wrong. Please just attempt to act your age for the first time in your life. Come on, Aiden. Give me an expansion on your thoughts here. Why is it not racist to basically assume that a black man is born in Africa even though you have their birth certificate from Hawaii?
Because they were saying for years that he wasn't even
Brother,
born in the
Nazi.
country. It was a whole thing. Even I knew about it when I was like 15.
It's a whole thing. It's not an explanation on why you think it's not racist.
No,
Try again and try harder this time.
I'm not. There isn't nothing to try harder, bro. There's no point in arguing with you because at the end of the day, we both are gonna keep believing what we believe.
So basically, you can't explain why that's not racist, and when I press you on it,
It's
you
not
run away.
racist. How is that racist?
Yeah.
Explain racism.
Oh,
Explain racism.
Oh, for sure.
Give the
Yeah.
definition.
One conception of racism that we could apply in this context would be an attempt to
go
systemically
ahead.
limit, would be to systemically limit, persecute, or discriminate against an individual or group of individuals on the basis of their race. The reason I'd say that this working definition of racism would apply to the Obama birther myth as perpetuated by Donald Trump is because it was an attempt to take advantage of a fact of his being, that being his race, the fact that he's black, extort that, and promote the idea that therefore he was born in Africa, where a lot of black people live, with no evidence, even though we have evidence he was born in Hawaii, to the end of therefore systemically limiting him from a position of power by telling people that they shouldn't vote for him to be president, since the Constitution would only limit the presidency to those that are born on U.S. soil.
Gotcha, but if you voted for Biden, it wouldn't have been a problem. You didn't care because he's a Democrat.
Okay.
The same one in 2020.
The statement Biden's a Democrat has nothing to do with you responding.
The same person in 2020 who said
the statement Biden's a Democrat has nothing to do with you responding to why Donald Trump is racist because of the Obama birther myth. Why do you keep running?
you only care that Trump is supposedly racist. You don't care.
I care about going one topic at a time. Feel free to feel enraged and scream about Biden as soon as you respond to the fact that Trump is racist because of the birther myth.
You're just wrong.
That's the best argument I've heard all day. No, you're wrong. Sit down, you emotional little boy. Try harder, turn on your brain, all three brain cells, and give a response. You heard me.
Right. What are you like? You're like 5'6" and you're whiter than milk, bruh.
Well, I'm not 5'6", but even if I was, I'm not calling you a little boy based upon your physicalities. I'm calling you a little boy based upon your emotional regulations, your mental acuity, and your overall.
Nah, you're just a hypocrite. There ain't no. You're just a hypocrite. There ain't no point in arguing with you because at the end of the day, you're brainless.
Okay, so you're bowing out from a debate from a brainless person that gave you an argument you can't respond to. What does that make you?
You're just mad, bruh.
Well, I don't think I'm mad. I think that I've given you an argument that you can't respond to. You can't handle it, so now you're projecting your big fifis onto me.
I already responded.
Okay,
like I already said.
So what was the response that debunked the notion? So what was your response that debunked the notion that Donald Trump is racist because of the birther myth?
Oh my God. But there's no point in arguing with you.
Okay.
There's no point.
If there's no point, then run away. That's fine. I'll move on to the next.
I'm just saying, if Trump went against Biden in 2024, you would have voted for Biden, and he's racist. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, we could talk about Biden as soon as you talk about Trump and the birther myth. No, it's not hypocritical. I've already demonstrated to you how at the end of the day, like the most charitable I can be is that Trump is more racist than Biden, right? And that's just for whatever reason, not something that you can respond to, and you got a flag. So let's move on to that next guess. All right. If you want to know how to deal with emotional little boys, there you go. There you go, everybody. There's a masterclass in how to deal with emotional little boys. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No, I accidentally joined.
No worries at all, guys. Make sure if you're in that queue that you support Donald J. Trump, you're an American adult, and I'll happily pull you up here for a conversation. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Melvin. As well as Sarah. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Yo, let's go, Sarah. That is insane. That is Sarah spelled S-A-R-A. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. Sarah says, hi, Dean, $100 for you because you absolutely deserve to be paid for educating the uneducated. Keep on doing what you're doing. I'm also donated $100 to Planned Parenthood for women's health, including abortion, and $100 to the Human Rights Campaign for the LGBTQ+ IA. You are amazing, and what you're doing makes a difference. Sorry you have to deal with so many idiots. It has to be exhausting. Please get a good steak with this $100. Sarah, you're an icon. I love you. Oh, and guess what? I will be getting the best steak in the world with that $100. I want y'all to show some love to Sarah nonstop in that chat. That is so much money. As well as Danielle with the $100 on PayPal as well. What the hell is going on today? Sarah and Danielle, the two queens. Holy crap. Danielle says, for having to deal with all the Aidens of the world, thank you for everything. Danielle, thank you for your continued kindness. You have continually came in here and showed me so much love. We all love you. You're such like a core member of the Dean Team Dream Team we got building over here. Show some love love to Queen Danielle and Queen Sarah down below in that chat. I want to see nothing but W Sarahs and W Danielles down below for at least the next 15. As well as Coral. Thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat saying that he's crying. So real, Coral. Show some love to Coral, too. We love you. Thank you, Coral. And welcome in, Melvin. Do you support Trump?
Yes, you probably remember me from the other day. I have a question to ask you about Trump's immigration policy.
Have we spoken?
Do you agree with Trump's immigration policy?
No, I disagree with it.
Okay, explain why.
Because I think that it's bad for the country.
Okay, so if I break and enter into your house, would you have me arrested?
I sure would, Melvin.
Okay, so then if it's illegal for me to break and enter into your house, then what makes it legal for immigrants to break and enter into this country?
I think that we're already off to a bad start. I don't think that individuals' houses are going to be identical through the use of analogy.
Well, no, it's breaking and entering. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I apologize.
I don't think that your house and your private property is identical to our borders. I'll give you a really compelling reason why. Do U.S. citizens have the ability to legally cross the border?
Yes, with a passport.
Do you have a problem with U.S. citizens crossing the border?
No.
Even the millions of citizens that do it every year that you don't personally know?
Unless they have dual citizenship, yeah.
So you don't have any problem with the millions of U.S. citizens crossing our border every year, even the millions of citizens that you don't personally know?
I mean, it's unless they have a passport. If they do it correctly, then yes, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, so does this mean that because you think your house is analogous to the southern border, you also would have no problem with millions of U.S. citizens that you don't personally know just randomly coming?
Well, that's not what I meant. What I meant is breaking and entering is a crime, correct?
Breaking and entering into your house is a crime.
But so then why couldn't it be the same for our borders? If breaking and entering isn't a crime, it's a crime. Right.
So answer my question to prove that it's not analogous. You said that you're fine with the millions of U.S. citizens that you don't know crossing the southern border into America every year. Would you therefore also be fine with all of these millions of citizens randomly coming into your house for fun?
No, not really.
Okay, so then houses aren't analogous to the border. Try again.
I don't think so.
All right, you just conceded. You just said, I don't think that houses are analogous to the border. That's the point I was trying to achieve. So what's next?
I don't know.
No worries.
I apologize. That's my fault.
No, don't apologize for anything, Melvin. I'm here to debate. You're debating. That's good that you're coming up here challenging.
And I'm not like that other guy. That other guy did not let you speak at all. We're debating, and the debate is supposed to be friendly. I'm sorry. That other guy was just an asshole, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for acknowledging that. He was a little bit rough. Is there anything else that you want to debate about?
No, sir.
Okay. Hey, Melvin, have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you for hearing me out. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Alice, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Alice says, thank you for doing what you do. Keep educating the uneducated. Alice, you're phenomenal, and thank you so much for the love. Show some love to Alice down below. As well as Ashton with a 5 and Anastasia with a $20 5 minutes ago. Anastasia with the $20 says, thank you for fighting the good fight every single day. Your live shows are the highlight of my day. We all appreciate you for being here, Anastasia. As well as Beth with the $20 saying, thanks for fighting the good fight and calling out these men who claim to support in the name of women when that's so obviously false. FDT. Couldn't agree more, Beth. Thank you for the $20. Show some love to our donors down below. Show some love to our donors down below. Y'all are so awesome. As well as Britt with the $10 over on Super Chat. Welcome in, Bethany. Are you MAGA? All right, Bethany's not here. Yo, Jason! Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Holy crap, let's get 500 Jason W's while we're trying to load up that next Trump supporter, Josiah, down here. Jason says, here's $50 for your new chair. You know what, Jason? I really appreciate that. That is very kind of you. I said I was going to get that new chair like 3 days ago, and I just keep on forgetting about it. But I really need to do that. So trust me when I say those $50 are going to be going to the right place. Those will be going to getting me a chair 110%. Thank you so much for your kindness. Let's show some love to Jason. Down below, while we're looking for that next Trump supporter, we got Jordan loading up into the live right now. Hop in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump. We'll happily load you up for a conversation. Jason, once again, thank you a billion times over. Now, let's go and get that next guest pulled up here. Going to put a mag with your age down below in that chat if you want to join. Welcome in. Jordan, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Jordan, man, I barely heard you. Do you have any type of mic connected to your phone? Like headphones, AirPods? Can you turn your Bluetooth off? Take your phone case off? Very muffled, very quiet.
1 second.
He said 1 second. It registered at maybe like 2 decibels. It is so quiet. I'll trust the process. I'll give him a second.
Is this better?
Unfortunately, I'm no longer trusting the process, and I'm going to boot you because no, that is not better at all. Moving on to that next guest. Go ahead and hop in that queue. If you support Trump, I would love to chat. Hello, are you MAGA?
Hey, brother. Yeah, I support both sides in a sense, but I do support Trump more.
Oh, man, you shouldn't do that. Let's talk about it, though. Before we do, Heidi, thank you for the $20 over in Venmo. Heidi says, appreciate you so much. Keep educating. Hugs, Heidi Sue. Heidi Sue, good to see you getting in here with us again today. I remember you from yesterday when you donated $20. Thank you for the love, Heidi Sue. Chat, show some love to Heidi. Thank you so much. It means the world. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I went through the whole Biden stuff, and I mean, obviously, I listen to the news and what the news tells me, so I don't do enough of my own research, I guess, but being told what I was told about Biden and seeing what I saw, I just saw weakness, and I see a lot of strength now with Trump.
Well, keep in mind, Biden didn't run against Trump. Kamala Harris did, so if you're going to do a comparative analysis, it'd be to Kamala Harris.
That is true, and honestly, when I saw Kamala, I didn't see the strength there either. She kind of looked like she was learning, and there are people that jump into this position and have a more sense of they know what they're doing.
Okay.
And I didn't get that vibe personally from Kamala. Yeah.
You just told us you voted on vibes. I don't think we should vote on vibes. I think we should vote on facts. Right?
Well, I think vibes are important. I mean, vibe is going to give you a majority about people, a majority sense about somebody. But I didn't vote off vibes.
How am I supposed to debate
I know
your
you're not
vibes?
going to like that.
Dude, I can't debate your vibes. I can't debate your bias. Okay, I can only debate facts. So, like, what are the facts? Why is Trump a good president?
Based off of what I see, I like what I see.
Okay.
I like what he's doing.
So what is he
I
doing
like
that you're a
that
fan
he
of? Let's
takes
hear it.
meetings. I guess it's hard to debate this, man. I do support Trump. I support what he does. There's things I don't support as well, and that goes with any candidate I've ever liked or disliked. I like some of the stuff they do. I like some of the stuff they don't.
I think you're being vague.
Yep.
How about I try to give you an argument?
Sure.
Are you a patriot?
Yeah.
Do patriots support core American values like the Constitution?
100%.
Okay. Does this mean if there was a presidential candidate that ran for the office that was anti-Constitution, that you would never support them in a billion years?
I mean, I do see where you're going to go with this, and I guess I think I see where you're going to go with this. I don't know. It could change. That answer could change, but in a sense, no.
For instance, no. In a sense, no. You would never support an anti-Constitution president in a billion years. So I just want to make sure that you're not a cult member. Donald Trump is pro-Constitution. I have a lot of critiques of the guy, but that's one area where he excels, and I love him to death. I say my daily prayer to him. Hypothetically, purely hypothetical, if Trump had explicitly called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, and had launched an attack on the Constitution twice, the first attack being attempting to rig the outcome of an election, and the second attack being an executive order taking constitutional rights away from those that have them, would you still support him as president?
I think all presidents have done what you just stated. I mean, people have always tried to rig elections and make things work in their favor. So I don't think anyone's safe from that, per se.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You just told me that every single president has called for the termination of the Constitution, passed explicitly illegal and anti-constitutional EOs that took constitutional rights away from people, and have attempted to rig the outcome of presidential elections. Go ahead and name one other president besides Trump that has done those things.
It'd be hard for me to do that, man. You do this stuff for a living. I mean, you know everything, bro. You really do. I listen to you. You're very educated. You know the stuff I don't. But I'm going off of, like I said, what the news tells me and what I see face value.
So do
I see our country being a stronger country with Trump there? I do.
You're not answering my question.
because I don't think I can, bro.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming up. If you can't answer that question, unfortunately, we're going to move on to the next guest, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded in. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love today, for all the Parker Raiders coming in off of TikTok and YouTube. Thank you for being here. If you want to support me, you definitely can. You can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as in the pin message on the YT stream, as well as you can support me over there on the Super Chats. Welcome in, Duck. Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
All right, you have something muffling your mic. Do you have an external Bluetooth headset, headphones on, anything like that? Take them off, turn them off. I'll be able to hear you much better. And while you're doing that, real quick, let's see if we have anybody to thank. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping. We sure do. Kat, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying, you can bet the only thing thinner than these dudes' arguments are their hairlines. That's good, Kat. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that. I hear you much better now, sir. Why do you support Trump?
Hi. So, sorry, I'm a little nervous. I've never been in front of this many people before.
No worries.
So, I'll get to why I support Trump, but first off, can I ask you a question or two? Do you mind?
That's fine.
So, you support Zoran Mamdani and Bernie Sanders, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot about the two people that I support, sure.
Okay, would you call yourself a socialist?
No, I'm not a socialist.
But aren't Zoran Mamdani and Bernie Sanders, are they not democratic socialists?
They sure are.
Okay, maybe I'm missing something.
I don't have to be a socialist to support a democratic socialist, especially when those democratic socialists are operating in governmental positions where, like, banning the privatized ownership of the means of production is just simply unconstitutional, meaning that they would effectively operate as a proponent of social democracy.
Okay, yeah, that's very reasonable.
So why do you support Trump?
Okay, so I support Trump because I'm sorry. I just really needed to answer that question. I don't support Trump.
Banned! Moving on to the next guest. No, good question. It's fair. But banned because we only want to talk to Trump supporters. Everyone just give us a minute so we can get that next Trump supporter loaded up. And if you want to skip that line and come right up on the live, go ahead and let me know down below in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up. We're going to go to get that next Trump supporter loaded in right now. We got Adrian connecting. While Adrian is connecting, let's get 200 Amanda W's in those live chats for the $20 on PayPal. Amanda, you're based. Thank you. Amanda says, love the streams. Anxiety pin lore is hilarious, but it's not really good for you. I know I need to kick it. I really do know that. Thank you for the $20, Amanda. Everybody watching, show some love to Amanda down below. Thank you so much. And welcome in, Adrian. Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
What time is it?
Huh?
What time is it?
This is in Arizona. It is 19 minutes past 3.
And name one state that borders Arizona. What's one state that borders Arizona?
I don't fucking know. I'm not.
Banned! Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and get that next guest connected. Go to put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat. We're going to get you loaded in here. We'll have some good debates. Quite frankly, everybody. Quite frankly. As well as Ducky. Good to see you again today. Ducky, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. You were awesome. Ducky says, as a duck, he should change his username to clown. Yeah, let's go, Ducky. Thank you for the $20. 200 Ducky W's down below. Seriously, thank you so much for the love. Welcome in, King Pip. Are you MAGA?
Yes.
And how old are you?
25.
Okay. And why do you happen to support who's, in my mind, the worst president of your 25 years of life? Take it away.
Well, it was between him and Kamala, right?
Right.
So, very obvious chance. Very obvious choice here.
Okay, and why was it choice
Kamala had no plan whatsoever.
No plan?
She also can't speak, and I don't want her speaking to foreign leaders.
Okay.
Because I don't think she can do it. She's not capable.
Kamala can't speak. Okay, are those your two and only points? Or anything
Multiple
else?
examples. Well, I mean, I just want to get your feelings. Why do you think the Democrats can subvert democracy by not having a real primary since 2008?
Okay. So we're going to start with the 2 points saying that Harris had no plan and can't speak, and then I'll answer to why I think apparently that Dems can subvert democracy. I should point out there, though the primary processes of private political organizations such as the DNC or the RNC aren't a part of our democracy.
They're the ones who anoint the nominees.
but they're not a fixture of our government. They're not ordained by the Constitution. They're
So you're just fine with not being able to vote?
And you could start one of the likes of them tomorrow yourself. And the vote for our government positions is the general election in November. The vote for the primaries is just simply a fixture of private political organizations. However, I will point out there that I disagree with the rules and regulations of both the DNC and the RNC because they're the same. They operate identically, where you're not truly voting for who you want in the primaries.
I didn't ask about the rules. I asked about specifically not having a regular primary since 2008.
Okay, so they didn't have a regular primary in 2020?
Did they? Or did they anoint Biden?
So why do you think they didn't have a regular
Did they,
primary?
or did they anoint Biden? Answer it.
Okay, I think we had a primary in 2020. Why do you disagree?
A legit primary? One where they didn't anoint and...
What do you think it was unlegit?
Near 88-year-old or 80-year-old?
So he won a majority of the votes in the primary.
You don't think it was a fair race? Like, you think it was fair?
Did he or did he not win a majority of the votes?
He did, but I'm just saying you don't think they had their hand. You don't think they took the
I have
scales?
a question. How do people vote in primaries? Wait, I'm sorry. How do votes work in democracies?
Do you think in 2016?
No. Answer my question. Would you agree that winning a majority of a vote is democratic?
Of course, but
so then you say that the primary of 2020 was democratic.
You think, okay, if you actually think it was not anointing Biden, then what do you think? Do you think it was anointing Biden?
I mean, I think it was democratic. He won over 50% of the vote. Like, by definition, that's democratic.
You don't think that billionaires in your party tipped the scales?
Oh, so now money involved with politics is anti-democratic.
Well, actually, that's an interesting point.
Is money involved in politics on both sides of the aisles? Is money involved in politics on both sides of the aisls? Yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Kamala had $1 billion.
Okay.
$1 billion.
So then, if you think that money being involved in money being involved in politics makes politics anti-democratic, well, then you just argue that all American politics, all votes, all elections, all primary processes are anti-democratic.
You think 2016?
And to a certain degree, I'd agree with you. But at this point,
2016 was fair.
I don't know why are you talking over me.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to respond to jack shit when you're asking me a question in the middle of my sentence.
You're not answering.
Obviously, I'm not answering it
You're
because
deflecting.
I'm still speaking. I'm not deflecting. I'm trying to sentence the finish that I started.
Yeah, you're rambling. Just answer the question.
Well, okay, now it's a ramble. I'm absolutely so sorry that you think me speaking for more than 5 words at a time and not just drawing them on printer paper.
Dude, you're going on and on and on and on. No one cares.
Okay, well, if you don't care, then why are you here? If nobody cares, then why do we have 12,000 people here? I think that you're wrong, sir. I think that you're actively running away from me disputing what you're saying.
I think you're a loser, just like Kamala.
Well, of course, the reason why you think that
I'm
a loser...
$1 billion and she lost.
No, I get it. The reason why you think I'm a loser is because I intimidate you. I'm smarter than you and I'm winning this debate. It's very clear. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start tracking your interruptions on my fingers. If you hit, I don't know, what's fair? 7, I'll kick you. If you don't hit 7, I won't kick you. And if you want to stay on the live, if you want to have a conversation, just don't hit 7. I think that's fair. Now I'm going to speak. I just want to let you know, as soon as I'm done spam muting you, I'm going to start speaking. Just as a heads up so you don't interrupt me. Okay? Only fair. If you care about democracy, then you wouldn't support Donald Trump. The reason why I say this is because the one true attempt that we have genuinely seen to attempt to rig the outcome of a presidential election was Donald Trump in 2020 when he sent fake slates of electorates to 7 of our key swing states that Biden had won, that he had lost, with fake votes from those states, in which he then had those fake slates of electorates sent back to Congress on January 6th, in which he then pressured Mike Pence into certifying as real. And we know that he's done these things because he admitted to them. He called them an official act of his presidency, and he was seeking presidential immunity from any criminal repercussions for attempting to rig the outcome of the 2020 election. And this is the largest threat upon the American democracy since Civil War. And I'd appreciate it if you'd respond to these set of facts without pivoting, deflecting, or changing the subject.
Obviously, no one cared about what happened in 2020 if he smoked you again in 2024, bud.
Okay. So you don't care when Donald Trump attempts to literally rig the outcome of the presidential election. There's your first interruption.
You're talking about
there's your first interruption. Okay, bro, calm down.
You had $1 billion.
You interrupted me. You interrupted me. There's your first interruption. We speak back and forth. We don't speak over one another. There's your second interruption.
God. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I appreciate you for apologizing. That's very mature of you. Now I'm going to continue with what I was saying. So
Okay.
I just explained how
I wanna
Donald
hear it.
Trump
Okay.
attempted to rig the outcome of the 2020 election, and your response was to say that you didn't care.
Do you think anybody really cared? Do you think the country cared? I mean, we won.
No, I don't think that a lot of Trump supporters did care. But I guess my question would be, if you don't care about Donald Trump attempting to rig the outcome of a presidential election, then why do you care about Democrats involving money in their primaries?
Why are you scared to let me speak?
No, please answer.
No, you keep muting me.
Yeah,
That's just what you do. I know it's what you do.
I'm gonna step back, answer the question.
You're
If
20, right?
If you don't care about Donald Trump attempting to rig the outcome of a presidential election, why do you care about money involved in Democratic primaries?
I'm not caring about. I'm just saying. I asked you specifically. Obviously, you don't listen well. I asked you whether or not you were okay with your party not having an official primary since 2008, and your response was Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. And it's so funny because everything that I would bring up, you say, "Well, what about Donald Trump?" And it's like, this is why you lost.
Okay.
This is why you lost.
Very cute.
You understand why you lost because you don't have any plans. You have no plans.
Okay.
Zero.
All right.
At the very least, Trump talks about it, but guess what? He may not have a legit plan. He may not. And I'll admit that. He may not have a legit plan. He says what people want to hear. You guys do not.
Okay.
And that's why you lost all 7 swing states. And embarrassingly, she blew through $1 billion and lost.
Okay. Got it all out? Awesome.
Sure.
Thank
Do you want to hear any more? Or
No, I'll go ahead and respond to
I mean, you want to accept? Like, I just don't know if you're
have more.
accepting.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just accepting whether or not, you're okay with that.
Okay. All right. Now it's my turn. So you made one grave mistake when you first started to speak. The grave mistake that you made was to suggest that I didn't directly respond to your BS claim that the Democrats haven't had a real primary since 2008, and instead I just pivoted to Trump. Well, I mean, for all of the viewers that were actually listening, you heard me point out how it is the case that Biden had won the primary in 2020 with over 50% of the vote, and by definition, that is Democratic, refuting your claim that the Democrats hadn't had a quote-unquote Democratic primary since 2008. I also made sure to directly respond to that claim by pointing out that primaries, as a part of a private political party, are not a fixture of our government, are not a fixture of our country, therefore not a fixture of our democracy. And then I brought up how what is a fixture of our government, democracy, and country are per general presidential elections, in which Donald Trump attempted to rig in 2020, serving as the largest threat to the American democracy since the Civil War, in which then you responded by saying that you don't give a shit, pointing yourself as a very
No, I
obvious
did not
hypocrite.
say that. No, you're putting words in my
So
mouth.
you do give a
I
shit?
said-
So then why do
I
you support
said-
him if you give a
I
shit
mean,
about him trying to rig a presidential
at
election?
the end of the day, I don't think it was right to overturn the 2020 election. I think he did lose. But, I mean, I'm just telling you what the country felt like, because obviously if they cared, and you keep bringing the stuff about Trump's criminal cases or civil court cases.
Whoa,
no one
stick
cares about any of that
on
either,
this. Stick on
because
this.
Guess what? No, it's part of it. It's all part of it.
Okay, wrap it
It's
in.
all
Wrap it in,
related
my
to Trump.
friend.
It's all related to
No,
Trump.
wrap it in.
Well, okay. Well, I'll say this. If anybody actually cared about what you preach on here every day about Trump, whether or not he's guilty of that or not.
Eli, thank you for the $5
Why
over on
do
YouTube
people
Super
care?
Chat. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Sadie with the $5 over on PayPal, and Marie with the $12 over on PayPal saying that I care. I appreciate you for the love, Marie, Sadie, and Eli. Y'all are awesome. Make sure to show some love to Eli, Sadie, and Marie down below in that chat. As well as Lion, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying nail the Trump supporters. Appreciate you for the love, Lion. As well as to Renee, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal, saying that you care. Thank you so much for the love. And John, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo, saying you're straightening people out one at a time. Thank you. No, thank you for the $25. John, good to know that you care as well. Milo with the $21, saying here's $21 for your 21st birthday coming up. Thank you, man, for all that you do. Thank you, Milo, for caring. I appreciate that. Seems like a lot of people care. I don't know.
I'm just saying, if enough people cared, you probably would have won last year, considering who you were throwing up against. You were against Trump.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even get enough people to vote against him. I mean, you couldn't even win one swing state.
Yeah.
You couldn't even win one.
Okay, here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. I agree with you.
Are you
A lot
going to
of-
let me speak? Or, you just went on this whole big ramble, and now I can't speak.
I don't know if there's any more substance that you're going to provide. If you want to try, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'd like to provide the substance of. You didn't bring up 2016 at all. Why is that?
Yeah, because in order to refute your claim that there hasn't been a Democratic primary, that's been
Was 2016 a legit primary?
Okay, I was
Yes
in-
or no?
You asked me a question. I started answering it. Then you interrupted me and asked me another question. Why are
I
you all
didn't
over the
answer-
place?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I said, was 2016
no,
a
you did.
legit primary?
You asked me why I only brought up 2020. Why is that? And I was about to answer your question.
Well, I want you to talk about 2016. I asked you about that
So then you
before.
shouldn't have asked me the other question to begin with. Jesus Christ, you're all over the place. Listen, I'm going to ask you to calm down, okay? I'm going to have you just sit and breathe for 10 seconds. That is what I'm going to require. No. You're sitting and you're breathing. You need to calm down in order to have any type of a productive debate with me. Very obviously. Now, I want to respond to the whole theme here of you suggesting that just nobody cares about Donald Trump trying to rig elections, felonies, etc. I actually think in some sense, you did. You said that the country didn't care about it.
Okay, yeah, you're saying me. Obviously, like, if I wanted it, regardless.
Interruption. There's interruption 4. You have 3 more interruptions till I kick you. Okay, don't waste
no.
them. Okay, so you said that
Are
the
we
country.
5 now?
You are. So now you said that the country doesn't care about Donald Trump trying to rig an election, and I think that you're right in one sense. A lot of people in the country don't care because they're like you. You're not serious. You're not smart. You don't do your research. You kind of treat politics like the UFC. There's 6. You kind of just like treat politics like the UFC, and you don't like investigate truth. And I mean, I can make this point really clear because now you're trying to convince me and everybody else listening that somehow what the majority of people think is right. Did you know that 90% of people worldwide, not just in America, for majority of human history, thought the earth was flat? Did that mean that the earth was flat? No. Oh, get pushed, buddy. Come on. All right. Try to have a better debate with me. Try to have a better debate with me than just arguing that most people in America disagreed with me in 2024.
They did. You convincingly lost.
Yeah,
like,
but that doesn't tell us anything about
Kamala again.
Well, what I'm saying is that doesn't tell us anything about what is true and false. And on this live, we're here to discuss what is true and false.
Okay, well, it can be true that you lost.
Right, it is true
you
that
got
I lost.
Smoked.
Right,
you lost all 7 swing states, and she got $1 billion.
But I have a question. Does my background say the Democrats won 2024? Prove me wrong, or does my background say Trump is terrible for America? Prove me wrong. Get pushed. Yeah, that's right. Sit the fuck down. Thank you. Thank you. God, I love it when this happens. I love this satisfaction about shutting y'all up.
Okay, shut up, faggot. Fuck you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now he's getting emotional. Now he's getting emotional. Now he's dropping the slurs. Now he's getting emotional and dropping the slurs. Guys, I'm sorry that, his crash out there had to include slurs. I apologize for y'all having to hear that. Geez, I don't know what it is. I'm talking to these grown adult men with a mental acuity of 3-year-olds. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry that you got humbled. Not my fault that you have 3 brain cells. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone give us a minute. What a crash out. What a generational crash out. Jesus Christ. Dude, imagine embarrassing yourself so hard in front of 14,000 people. Holy shit. Oh my God. How much would it suck to be him? Let's just think about it for a second. How much would it suck to be him? Or honestly, suck to be people in his life. I feel bad. If he has siblings, I feel bad for them. If he has a partner, I feel bad. Obviously, he doesn't, but hypothetically, if he had a partner, I'd feel bad for them. If he has a mom, a dad, I'd feel bad for them because that is the way that he treated some random person on TikTok Live. Imagine how he treats people in his personal life. Jesus Christ. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to that next guest. Go ahead and hop in that queue. If you support Donald J. Trump as president, we'll pull you up here. Sorry that you all had to hear the very hateful tears of a emotional Trump supporter after he got sat the fuck down. Dude, low diff too easy, crashed out. Jesus Christ, rinse and repeat. They follow the same script. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded into the live right now, everyone. Gail, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Gail, that is so incredibly kind of you with the $50. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Everybody, show some love to Gail down below in that chat. I seriously really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Gail. Gail with the $50 says, Dean, thank you for endlessly exposing the MAGA hypocrisy and hate in real time. Well, I really appreciate you for that. We definitely do a lot, big expose on all the MAGA hatred, but it just kind of brings itself out, if that makes any sense. The MAGA hatred is just so self-apparent. All right. Everyone give me a second here. All right, y'all. All right, folks. Give me 1 second. All right, everybody. We got our multi-guests restricted as per usual. I should have done a second restart a while back. I kind of forgot about it, if I'm going to be honest. For everybody hanging out in the live with us for the day, we are back now. We got our multi-guests restricted. We are going to go ahead and do an over-under on the odds that you guys think we will see. Go ahead. Actually, we're going to go ahead and start a little bit of a poll in the chat. Go ahead and give it a smiley face if you think that the ban on our multi-guest will get appealed. And go ahead and put a sad face if you think that the ban on our multi-guest will be rejected. Honestly, if I had to cast a vote, I'd throw a smiley face. I'd say it's going to get rejected. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. But I guess we'll see. Marina, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo. You're awesome. As well as Elajian with the $2. Thank you so much for the love. And then once again, back to Gail. I still do really appreciate you for the $50 over on Venmo. You are so awesome, Gail. Everybody watching, please make sure to show some love to Gail down below. Thank you so much. It's going to say that I left the live for a second. It's going to go bounce. It's just because I'm checking on the ban. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So we haven't got a word back on that ban yet, everybody. We're going to go ahead and give it around a couple more minutes. Sometimes those bans typically take around 5 minutes to either get approved or denied. So honestly, we'll use the next 5 minutes to answer any questions. If you have a question for me, feel free to drop it in the chat or over like a Venmo and a PayPal. I'll definitely respond to every single one that we get on Venmo and PayPal. Maybe a little bit harder to get around to every single one in the chat. So to start with Lily, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you, Lily, for the love. You were phenomenal. Lily says, I was here yesterday as well, and I'm glad I'm having the opportunity to watch these lives more frequently. Love how patient you are and that your opinions are backed up with true and reliable facts. Also love your shirt today. Thank you, Lily. That is so kind of you. And yes, you were here yesterday. I remember you. Let's get 250 Lily W's down below in that comment section, everybody. That is Lily with 2 L's, spelled Lilly. Thank you so much for the kindness. You are so cool. So awesome, quite frankly. I smoked that last guest so hard they took her multi-guest away. I'll check the ban again in about 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'll continue to ask questions. Once again, if you want to support me or ask a question, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. The Venmo and the PayPal are also in the pin message on the YouTube stream. And Vinny with a 40 cents says, how do you remember the statistics? They'll get jumbled in my brain. Honestly, just like repetition. I don't know how I remember them. Just repeating them so much always keeps them fresh and at the top of my mind. AG with $1. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask the question again, AG. Then Emma with a $3 saying Iron Maiden rocks. Hell yes, brother. As well as Makai with a $1 on Venmo saying, get pushed. Let's go, Makai. A lot of y'all in the chat are asking for Momo. Unfortunately, I do not have Momo with me. Let's see here. Iris with the $2 asking what my favorite ice cream flavor is. Definitely just chocolate. I'm a big chocolate guy. As well as Tranae, spelled Tranae. Don't know how your name is pronounced. I'm gonna call you T. T, thank you for the $5 on PayPal, saying 5 more just because. Thank you so much for the $5, T, saying 5 more just cuz. Everybody, I'm sorry. I just tried to pronounce her name. It sounded a lot like a transphobic slur. My apologies. My apologies. Libby, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Libby says, listening in while shopping with my sisters. I love these debates. Hope the rest of the day goes well. Thank you for the love, Libby. It's good to see you again. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. As well as Joey with the $5 on Venmo says, has any Trump supporter ever changed your opinion on anything during a debate? I think that I've had some like more intelligent Trump supporters inform me a little bit more about tariffs. I think that tariffs can be kind of nuanced, but it ultimately didn't shift the perspective. It was just like smaller things. Sergio, thank you for the $2 on Venmo as well. And AG with a 3. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm going to go and check on that ban again. It's going to say that I'm paused for like 2 seconds. Yo, is King Pip whining in the chat? Yo, y'all are bullying him down below. I got to see what he said. He literally has like 100 people replying to him telling him to shut up and that he got pushed. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are so funny. I can't even find his original message because y'all are fucking him up so much. Dude, talk about a dog pile. I'm still scrolling. At least 100 people responded to him. Oh, that's great, man. That's too good. Okay. All right. I'm going to go check on the man. Give me a second. Okay, it's still under review. So let's go back to the questions. Let's see here. AG's question was, my question, have you seen the recent Hunter Biden interview with Andrew Colligan? Trump's wife threatened to sue over it. I know I haven't seen it, but I did see that she did threaten to sue. Chelsea with $1, Makai with $1, Charis with $1, Sergio with a 2, and Leo with a 2. I appreciate you guys. Sergio, feel free to respond to your most recent dono with the added message. Kimberly, thank you for the $10 on PayPal, saying, do you think if Trump is removed that Vance will be worse? No. I think that Vance is slightly better than Trump, but that's a very low bar, bars in hell. And then Jennifer with $1, Marie with the $3 over on PayPal. Appreciate you guys. Then Lillian, thank you so much for the $18 over on Venmo. Show some love to Lillian down below. Lillian says, my MAGA-ish boyfriend said Kamala Harris was just as bad because her family owned slaves. Thought, can't find anything online. No, her biological relatives were slave owners. How can a black person be biologically related to slave owners, may you ask? Well, it's because the slave owners would rape the enslaved individuals. And then they'd have children that they'd also enslave. In fact, a lot of black people in America are related genetically to plantation owners for that reason. So all that this tells us is that one of Kamala Harris's distant relatives was enslaved and was raped while enslaved in Jamaica. Good question, Lillian. Somebody in the chat asked, would you ever consider getting into politics? Bro, be quiet. Yo, Milan, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for the love, Milan. Milan says, thank you for all that you do and always standing up for what's right and humane. From your favorite lesbians. Thank you, Milan. Shout out to Milan. I appreciate you for your message. As well as Hannah. Thank you for the $21 over on Venmo, saying happy early 21st. Love when you try to use a gentle parenting method on MAGA and it irritates them further. You are a light in these darker times. Keep going. You are so awesome. Thank you for the love. Show some love to Hannah down below. Thank you. I mean that very seriously. Thank you so much for your kindness. Thank you, Hannah. You are great. You are great. Thank you so much, Hannah. Sorry, when I continue to go on pause, that's just because I'm checking the ban. Yeah, my 21st birthday is on September 1st, so that's up here pretty soon. I appreciate everyone so much for all the love and excitement of it. I'll be live the night before and the day of, so that'll be super fun. Yo, dude, Randy spelled R-A-N-D-I. Thank you for the $50 super chat on YouTube, Randy. You're a machine, man. Thank you. Now, Randy didn't even leave a message, literally just the $50. Show some love to Randy down below, as well as IMA with the $10 saying, is it an anxiety pin? Yes, it is. No, it is obviously an anxiety pin. Bougie with the £10 saying, thanks, Dean. Your courage facing the MAGA cult. Hate means a lot. You show us truth and persistent matter. Dark times breed resistance. Better times are coming. Best from Belgium and free Palestine. Thank you for being here. Free Palestine and love to Belgium. As well as thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. That is incredibly kind of you. You were awesome, Saying, can I explain my position on guns? I just agree with common sense gun reform. As well as I think that guns are can be pretty deadly. Just like cars can be pretty deadly. And because of how deadly cars can be, we require people to go through classes and take a test in order to get a license to legally drive one. I think we should do the same thing for guns. I think that is one sense of common sense gun reform that should be widely supported. Back with the 50 cents. I appreciate that. Then Giovanna with the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you, Giovanna. Giovanna says our birthdays are 2 days apart. I'm September 3rd, Virgo twins. Let's go, Giovanna. As well as Abram with the 9 cents on PayPal. Appreciate that, Abram. Let's go. And then Libby, thank you for the galaxies. That's so kind of you. Chloe with the $15 over on PayPal says, just wanted to say thank you for all that you do. You are truly amazing. You have changed my perspective completely, and I'm so grateful for that, especially because my whole family are Trump supporters, and it's so sad to see how lost they are. But I'm too scared to stand up. You know what, Chloe? Just influence them to hop up my live. I'll stand up. I'll stand up to them. I'll try to change their mind. And as well as John with the $10 saying, because we care. Thank you, John. You are awesome. Molly with the $5 on Venmo. I got that. And then Tamia with the $5 over on PayPal as well, saying thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Tamia. And then Paul with a $20 super chat saying, here's some money to buy some of those delicious Western Slope peaches. Ooh, Paul, Palisade peaches, man. Let me tell you. So yummy. Paul knows what's up. We have some of the best peaches in America, 20 minutes from where I live. Paul, you definitely know what's up. All right, it's going to say that I'm going on pause again for another 3 seconds, just checking up on that guest request ban one more time. Boy, oh boy, it is still being looked at. It is still being looked at. Drake with $1 on PayPal saying, will I ever run for president? I don't know if it's in my cards or not. I mean, I could see it being in my cards one day. But do I know for sure that's what I want to do? No. I don't. I don't know for sure that that's what I want to do. I'll be honest. Ooh. Phoebe, $2. Opinion on Gavin Newsom. You know, there's a lot about Mr. Newsom I'm not a big fan of. But I will tell you, nobody's standing up like him right now. I'm really proud of him. It makes me feel patriotic. And I hope that more people on the left stand up like he does. Yo, Ellen, E-L-Y-N, thank you for the $6.50. Ellen says, hey, this isn't a criticism, purely a question of interest. I support what you stand for and humbling the people in the world who vote for the orange. Thank you for the motorcycle, Kira. All that being said, how come you don't debate those outside of the USA in your TikTok live debates? Point number one, they're less likely to be as informed, so they'll just be more insufferable. And point number two, they don't hold electoral power in American politics. I still do understand the influence of MAGA globally and how that could impact other countries. So that's why, say other people from other countries are very free to listen, but they just don't satisfy the conditions of having enough influence on American politics in order to get up here and debate, I assume. Dude, is King Pip still whining? King Pip is still whining in the chat. Holy cow. You know what? If you're tuned in, let me know how you are doing today, folks. How are we doing? Let me know how you guys are doing today. Taylor says they're tired. Sophia says good. Oh, shit. You know what? I have some tea for you guys while we're waiting to see if this ban goes through. I'm actually going to check on it. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I have some tea for y'all. Right? So, it's interesting. I was going over this in my Discord earlier. It is piping hot, let me tell y'all. So, my girlfriend is going to be the maid of honor at her best friend's wedding. And the wedding is in 2 or 3 weeks, right? And, she's been planning this wedding for the last year. And because she's the maid of honor, she's been very involved. She's been in charge of the planning, in charge of the budgeting. She's been getting the decorations together, help pick out the dress, figuring out the bachelorette party. And I mean, she's even, because she loves her best friend, even invested some of her own money into the wedding of her best friend. And, the whole time for the last year or so that she's been doing this, the wife and the husband to be are like, hey, you and Dean, you and your boyfriend can come to the bachelor's party. They're doing a party with the husband, the wife, etc. It's together. You guys can come to the wedding. You guys are invited. It'll be a whole lot of fun. And she has been sweating over this for the last year. Let me tell you, throwing a wedding together is not easy. It is a big, big deal. Being the maid of honor is a goddamn job, right? And she's been working that job for the last year or so. Today, Kira, thank you for the motorcycle. The wife-to-be reaches out to my girlfriend and tells her that the husband-to-be no longer wants me to come. And rescinds my invitation after everything that she has done for them under the suggestion that we'll be there together and it'll be fun. It's also kind of like a destination wedding. It's 2 days long. It's a ways away from home. And I get my invite rescinded from the husband-to-be. And listen, I understand in weddings, you get that say over who's there, who's not there. I could respect the decision. But I just think it is so disrespectful to her and the time that she has invested in putting this wedding together. So disrespectful to everything that she's been doing to them, especially when they explicitly said, now, Dean can come to the wedding, Dean can come to the party, the wedding that you're planning and putting together, the party that you're planning and putting together. But then today, Dean can't come at all. And the reason why will shock you even further. 2019, 6.5 years ago, when I was 14, I had a girlfriend. For the story, we'll call her Allie. Her name's not actually Allie. It's what we're going to call her. One of my 14-year-old girlfriend when I was a kid. And when I was dating Allie, when I was 14, Allie went to a party. And when Allie was at this party, Allie cheated on me with the husband-to-be. So, May of 2019, I reached out to, this husband-to-be. We'll call him Andrew. And I text him 6.5 years ago. And I'm like, was my girlfriend getting with you this weekend? And I think he said some snarky shit. He was like, go ask her. And then I texted him back and I was like, well, I did. She said nothing happened, but I just wanted to reach out to you and see what your side of the story was because other people said that things had happened. And he was like, it's not my fucking deal, bro. That's a problem with your girl. And I was like, you don't know me. Like, I'm not trying to beef here. Okay, when I was 14, I was very non-confrontational. And he was just being an absolute asshole. And then at the end of this engagement, this conversation, remember, this is 6.5 years ago. I'm like, bro, I seriously don't have any beef with you. I just want to know what happened. And then he was like, oh, I hope we don't have beef. I would really hate beating some dude's ass this summer. And then the conversation ended. Very childish. I mean, we were children. We were literally 14 years old. 14, okay? People do dumb shit when they're 14. I don't care anymore, right? But anyways, apparently, he's held on to that. He's held on to getting with my girlfriend when I was 14, 6.5 years ago, until his wedding today. And he doesn't like me over that. For whatever reason. So now he's rescinding the invitation. Point number 1, place yourself in the shoes of the wife-to-be. How would you feel if this man that you're about to marry is so pissed off that he's rescinding the invitation to the long-term boyfriend of the maid of honor because your husband-to-be got with the ex-girlfriend of the boyfriend of the maid of honor? Oh, that's insane, right? Oh, and guess what? It gets even worse. Because you know who does have an invite to the wedding? You know who is going to the wedding? My long forgotten ex-girlfriend from when I was 14 that he got with. Oh, brutal. So brutal, right? So just looking at this all, point number 1, so disrespectful to my girlfriend who has been giving her time, her attention, her labor, her energy, her effort, her fucking money to put this together, and then uninviting her boyfriend of 4 fucking years. So disrespectful to her, and so disrespectful to the wife. Okay, the wife-to-be, she likes my girlfriend. They're best friends. she acknowledges that my girlfriend gave so much time, attention, energy, and effort and money into planning her wedding. She wants me to come out of respect for my girlfriend, right? It's the husband-to-be that created this issue. So place yourself in the perspective of the wife-to-be, right? And seeing this man that you're about to marry, like rescind the invitation of the boyfriend of your best friend that you really care about, and disrespecting your best friend that you really care about in the process, all over the fact that you got with the ex-girlfriend of the boyfriend of the wife-to-be's best friend 6.5 years ago. When, that woman that he got with 6.5 years ago that has created a large enough issue to cancel my invitation is also going to that wedding. It's like, what are the potential outcomes of this? Like, what are the potential motivations of this? So the first motivation is that this husband-to-be has not moved on from when he was 14 years old. He peaked when he was 14. He peaked when he was 14. He holds a grudge from when he was barely out of shitting in diapers. I don't even give a shit. I could care less that he got with my girlfriend when I was 14, 7 years ago. Who fucking cares? I'm grown. And I assume that he was grown too. But apparently, one explanation of this is that he's not grown, right? And another explanation, right, is that he still really likes my ex-girlfriend from when I was 14. There's still feelings there. There's still something there to explain why he's so emotional and upset over this. Still upset enough to completely dismiss and shit on his wife-to-be and the best friend of the wife-to-be. And the third explanation is he doesn't like me because of what we do online. I don't know. It's I was thinking maybe, I'm doing better than he is. I mean, he's intimidated by me. There's a third theory, but I think those are the three theories. First theory, hasn't emotionally matured since he was 14 and he's still a kid. Second theory, is in love with my ex-girlfriend from 7 years ago. And third theory, he's intimidated and jealous of me. What are y'all's thoughts? In fact, I'll even propose this question in a better way. Am I the asshole for thinking that's fucked up? Am I the asshole for thinking that is really fucked up of him? No, okay, we see a bunch of no's. That's great. I'm so glad we're all on the same page. Because in a nutshell, I think that you have a lot of control over your wedding. If you don't want somebody at your wedding, you don't have to have them there, and you don't really owe them an explanation. That is your day. It is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. Right? And I could agree to that. But having my girlfriend be the maid of honor and tasking her with a job for the last year straight, setting everything up and putting time, energy, effort, labor, money, etc., while explicitly telling her that I could come along for the ride, that I could go to the wedding, that I could go to the bachelor party or whatever, and then rescinding the invite 2 weeks before the wedding after all of the work that she's done. Now that's fucked up. Oh, and the fact that, my ex-girlfriend from way back when is going. Now that's just weird. Does the wife know? Does the wife-to-be know? Yeah. No, the wife-to-be is actually the one that broke the news to my girlfriend. So she knows, all right. But what's funny is that the wife-to-be didn't know why he doesn't like me so much. And I've had one conversation with him where I asked him why he got with my girlfriend 6.5 years ago when we were children. And my girlfriend sent her those screenshots and finally informed her, you know? So that's interesting. That is interesting. What are your thoughts? And in fact, if you were in the shoes of my girlfriend, what would you do? I'm just curious, like genuinely. If you were the maid of honor of your best friend and you spent a year straight like spending so much of your time, energy, and attention into making this marriage happen, and then they rescinded the invite of your long-term boyfriend 2 weeks, what would you do? Candace with the $2 saying, talk walking fee, thank you. Crystal with the $10 on Venmo saying, just crash the wedding, please. No, at the end of the day, I just won't go, right? Dale with a $10 saying, it's not going to last. Yeah, I'm probably right, Dale. Thank you. Not go. Yeah. James in the YouTube chat says, not going to lie, why do you want to go to the wedding so bad if they don't want you there? Well, no, I don't want to go to the wedding because they don't want me there. That's a given. Come on, James. That's obvious. I just care about my girlfriend being disrespected. You know, I feel like the two main things that we see in the chat are point number one, if you were in these shoes, you want to go. And point number two, that you would still go because it is, you know, this person who you've considered a best friend for your whole life. It is their special date, it is their marriage. And just suck it up for this one opportunity and then drop it all. So those are like the two things that I see a lot of people in that chat saying. Now, anyways, that's the daily, that's some tea I thought I'd share with y'all. That is like fully like am I the asshole subreddit post. Watch it on your For You page with like an AI voiceover story type shit. like that is quite the story. That is like quite the story. That is, yeah, I know, you know, and that's happened to me and my girlfriend. You know, I just feel so bad for my girlfriend. Like, she doesn't deserve that disrespect. She doesn't deserve that at all. Like, it's just so insane. Like, you know, I could give a shit less about me not being invited to the wedding. I've actually never even personally met them. Oh well. I just care about my girlfriend being disrespected. And then even like the family of my girlfriend. Because like that's how close of friends they are. Is my girlfriend still going? Well, this all happened like literally right before I started my live. So we didn't even like really talk about that. I just like went over like how fucked up that was with her. You know, I just like validated her feelings for being sad about this. And talked about like the potential outcomes. So we like this literally happened this morning. So like I started my live today at 2 my time, and from like 12:30 to 2 my time, we were going over this. So yeah, this is like new. This is like just happened right before I started the live. You know, I feel like the worst sides of people can come out in weddings. I've seen so many weddings called off on the day of the wedding with good reason. Just because that's the final moment. That is the final moment. Of course, divorce is an option. I don't want to act like it's not. But marriage is still a huge commitment, right? So it's like the only thing on your mind leading up to that is the commitment of marriage. And if it's a commitment that you want to make. And I've seen so many relationships fail on the altar. In fact, that's another story. I watched a wife-to-be break up with her husband-to-be on the fucking altar and then leave the venue. I've watched that, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that in person before. That was crazy. Oh my God. It was a family member of mine. The family member was a man. Sorry, chat. I'm back. The family member was the man. So we all went to Vegas for this wedding. You know, my whole family was there because of the man. Her whole family was there because of the woman. Everybody was flown out, drove, put in hotels. Day of the marriage, put into limos, taken to the venue, setting it up, practicing what it will look like to go through. They're practicing, like, putting the rings on the fingers and whatnot, kind of just dry running that. And the man wanted, so he had two kids, a little boy and a little girl, and then the woman had one kid, a little girl. And the man wanted both the little boy and the little girl to be holding the two rings. And then, of course, the woman wanted at least her little girl to be holding her ring. And the man was like, no, I want my kids to have the rings. And she was like, no, I want my kid to have at least one of them. And the man didn't budge. So then the woman broke up with him right then and there. Left with her family. Left with her family. Jeez. Marriage. Marriage, man. Oh, and then there was another marriage I went to. They were both 20, 19, 20. Already had a kid. Divorced 4 months later. I've seen that before too. Jeez. Dude, so much like marriage drama that I've seen in my 20 years of life. Oh my goodness. Alfredo, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Appreciate you for the love. Daniel with a 5 as well. It seems like his guilty conscience is eating him up, seemingly. Justin with the $2. Ellen with a 3. I appreciate you guys for the love over on PayPal. As well as Kayla with a $5 saying, love for everything you stand for, Dean. Much respect for you, my guy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Stacy with the $10. Dean, I fear this isn't... A lot of women out there have friends with husbands like this, and it sucks. I hope it works out for the best. So this isn't... Yeah, I bet this happens all the time. And it's a hard situation to be in for all parties. Thank you for the $10, Stacy. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Jessica with the $10 saying, not to interrupt your new story, but why is the ex-girlfriend going? Is she friends with the bride-to-be or just going as a guest of the groom? I think she's going as like an acquaintance of the bride-to-be. I'm pretty sure. But like, it's still pretty weird. Especially considering the fact that he's still so emotionally upset by it that he rescinded my invite. For everybody in the chat spamming to get your girlfriend flowers, I like the way y'all think. Thank you for the great idea. That's an awesome idea. Thank you. You guys are on the money with that one. Jesus Christ. Good thinking. Good thinking. Very good thinking. Okay. Anyways, that's my story time. That's my story time. I just had to tell y'all because that shit is fucked. Oh man, it upsets me so much. It upsets me so much. I when people disrespect my girlfriend like that, God. Ugh. Lily, thank you for the $15 saying take this and buy your girlfriend some flowers. Sucks that she has to that she has to be in the middle of this all. Also, I didn't ask, but would you ever consider visiting Canada? I'd love to go to Canada one day. And thank you for the $15, Lily. I'll absolutely use that to get the girlfriend some flowers. As well as Andrea with the $12 over on Venmo for literally the same exact thing to buy the girlfriend some flowers. Thank you, Andrea. Lily and Andrea, y'all are awesome. Angel with a $5 saying if they disrespect your girlfriend, you disrespect them, or at least him, since your girlfriend's best friend probably still wants you to go. Crash it. No. Here's the way I think about it. I think that even evil people deserve, some evil people, some disrespectful people deserve a nice marriage. You know, that's like the one day I'll give to nearly anybody. One day I'll give to nearly anybody, right? I don't think I'd ever crash a marriage against the opinion of the bride or the groom. I wouldn't do that, right? There's many other things I would do. That's not one of them. Right? Be the gentleman, bow out, don't go. All right. Here's what we're going to do, everybody on TikTok. Our ban on the guest requests was finalized. It was not appealed. I've lost it for 3 days. At this point in time, we have a couple options. The first option is to head to one of our like super random backup accounts. Shoo, thank you for the bouquet. I appreciate that. Yo, Matthew, thank you so much for the $10 of Venmo for the glitter bomb. I appreciate you for that love, Matthew. The first option is just for us to go to like whatever random backup accounts. And continue to do debates, which kind of sucks. I don't really want to do that, but it is what it is. Like, we don't even have the Dean Z Dean account. I think we have the It's Not Dean. I think maybe that's where we'll go. Michael with the $10 saying, what if I debated you as a devil's advocate as why a Trump supporter is coherent, but also not veiling their cruelty? I don't do devil's advocate, but I appreciate you for the love. MLG with the $10 saying, hey, I sent you $10 on Venmo 15 minutes ago asking a policy question. I just want to know if you saw it. I don't think I did see it. MLG, feel free to drop it in the YouTube chat. All right, chat, we're going to go ahead and head over to that backup account. Would y'all spam at It's Not Dean down below in that chat? So everybody knows where we're going. By the way, for everybody on YouTube, you guys are fine. You're not moving anywhere. Gonna drop an at It's Not Dean down below in that chat. Drop an at It's Not Dean down below in the chat. Oh, by the way, so the husband-to-be is expecting a call, or no, is apparently going to call my girlfriend and explain his side of the story. So that's actually what we're waiting on right now. In fact, I hear my girlfriend in the other room on a phone call right now, and she does not sound level-headed. So I wonder if that's it. Anyways. All right. There's enough. There's enough of the drama. Just send her a text, making sure she's okay. Make sure I want to be there for her. I want to make sure I'm there for her. Now, we're going to move over to that second account. Drop an at It's Dean, not Dean, down below in that comment section. At It's Not Dean, if you want to type that on the TikTok stream. Does she know that you're telling this story right now? Yeah. No, she's all for it. She's all for it. I was talking about this in the Discord, and she's like, fuck yeah. No, she knows. She knows. Check on her. I sent her a text. I sent her a text. Don't worry, y'all. I sent her a text. And she knows that we're going to talk more about this when I get off. We only have about another hour. Okay. It looks like it's not even sending down below in the chat. So are you guys like trying to send the at It's Not Dean in the TikTok chat and it's just simply not sending? Pro. Okay, we finally got one to go through. There we go. I don't know like why the other ones didn't go through. I'm really sorry. Do you guys see that pin message right there? Huh, look at that. It's just simply like taking it out. That's so weird. Okay. Everybody, look at the handle in the pin message. Head over there right now. That's where I'm going to be. We're going to do debates for about another hour. It'll be a whole lot of fun. I'll see you all there very, very shortly at It's Not Dean. BRB. For everybody on YouTube, hope y'all are having a good day. Dude, some of y'all are like, some of y'all are interesting. Some of y'all are interesting. Dude, those of y'all telling me to crash the wedding, y'all are crazy, dude. People that are saying that, you guys, oh my God. I don't think I'd ever do that. I could never do that. Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking about that in my head. Jesus. What an interesting thing to do. Okay. All right. We're already back on the TikTok. Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the TikTok. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out this live with a handful of friends. As per usual. As per usual. Great. Great. Okay. All right. Well, y'all go ahead and hop in that queue. If you support Trump, I'll happily have you up on the live stream. We're just looking for some debates. Lindsay on PayPal says, don't crash the wedding. You're better than that. Lindsay, I actually agree with you. I do think that's a pretty low thing to do, to crash a wedding. It's a very low thing to do. All right. We're going to go ahead and get that very first guest up here, guys. If you're watching and you support Trump, go ahead and hop in that queue for me. I'll have you up here and we'll debate. Let's go to get that very first guest of the day, Velma, loaded into the stream. In the meantime, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. If you come up here in violation of the rules, I'm going to ban you. Got to be MAGA if you want to join. If you want to skip the line, guys, go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. We'll happily get you pulled up here. Let's go to get that first guest, Tristan, loaded up in right now. Let's go to get that first guest, Tristan, loaded up in right now. MLG with the $10 says, would you ever support the creation of an independent office that would have authority over passing and control of federal contracts and subsidies? That would be within the Department of Treasury. Who are they currently controlled by, MLG? If you could tell me who they're currently controlled by, I could give you my thoughts. Welcome in, Tristan. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
20 years old.
Okay, same age as me. Why the hell do you support the worst president of your life?
Well, really, I don't support who he is as a person. I do agree with your statements that he hasn't done very great things at all as a person, but some of the things that he does has done as a president for economy, jobs, and helping out.
The economy and the jobs, long-term unemployment is at an all-time high, excluding the pandemic. Since 2017, inflation is up, unemployment is up, GDP growth went down in the first quarter of this year. 52% of S&P 500 companies reported lower profit margins in the second quarter of this year, probably because of his tariffs. You know, what is he doing good? Like, what's the best thing that Donald Trump has done for America?
I mean, the big beautiful bill. I mean, isn't that not good?
Oh, dude, I thought that the big beautiful bill was a fucking train wreck, dude. It took 10 million people off of healthcare, 3 million people off of food stamps, 18 million school students off of free school student lunches, just to give everybody in the top 40% of income brackets a tax break. I just don't think that's good. What about you?
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just in here trolling. I'm not a fucking Trump supporter.
No worries, Tristan. Banned. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. Let's go to get that next guest, Dylan, loaded up into the box. If you happen to be one of the very first 3.2 thousand people hanging out with us in here for the day, thank you for being here. Welcome in, Dylan. Do you support Trump?
Anxiety pin.
There you go, Dylan. Very nice. That is an anxiety pin. Round of applause for Dylan. Now banned because he's a fetus. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. Hop in that queue. If you support Trump, I'll happily have you up here. Moving on to Rufus Monroe. Welcome in, Rufus. Do you support Trump? Banned. Moving on to James. Here we go. We got that next guest loading up in here. Quite frankly, hi, Nicholas. Do you support Trump?
Bro.
Banned. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go and see what that next guest, Candace, has to say. Everyone give us a minute. All right. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
What year were you born in?
2002.
What month?
November.
Okay.
I'll be 23 this year.
You are right. Okay. Why do you happen to support Donald J. Trump, the worst president of your life? Take it away. I am listening.
So, there is something I want to bring up. So, I do know that food prices can't be lowered right away. Like, with things like that. Like, it's definitely going to take some time. I know that people have been, like, complaining about how, stuff like that. But probably if Trump was president, it'd probably take a good, 4 years for the rest of his term in order for food prices and stuff like that to drop.
Do you blame the inflation under Biden on Biden?
I would say that I have noticed that, food prices and stuff has went up since he's been president.
Okay. Well, I mean, the major inflation that we saw happened in late 2021, the same year he was inaugurated. So how come apparently Biden can cause inflation in less than 1 year, but Donald Trump can only cause a reduction of the prices in 4 years?
Well, considering the fact that, when Biden was president, he definitely sent a lot of money to help support wars and stuff like that. And I know the U.S. is, trillions of dollars in debt.
Oh, so more debt is what causes inflation. Donald Trump has caused significantly more debt than any Democrat in modern American history. In his first term, he signed $8.6 trillion worth of debt into law. And Biden's, they signed $4.6 trillion worth of debt into law. Not to mention, in the first 200 days of his term, he passed a big, beautiful bill, which added over $4 trillion to our national debt. It is the most expensive policy in American history.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So I don't really know much about the Big Beautiful Bill. Could you explain that to me?
Yeah, for sure. The Big Beautiful Bill is a big mess that is giving the richest among us big tax breaks at the expense of low and middle income Americans. The tax breaks are so expensive that they cost $6 or $7 trillion. And what Donald Trump did in order to offset that was he defunded very important social services for low-income Americans by trillions and billions. He defunded over $1 trillion from Medicaid, $153 billion from food stamps, $1 billion from the Department of Education that was funding free school student lunches for 18 million school students, millions of dollars from the intellectuals and the arts, just hurting poor people to help rich people. Very immoral and very expensive.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So how can you support that?
I mean, when he was president before, things were definitely kind of good. Like, we didn't really have to worry about war or anything like that.
Okay, well, when he was president before, well, what about now?
With how much is, breaking out about the No King's Day and stuff like that, I completely understand that. But it's just more the fact, like I said before, it's definitely going to take some time for things to...
So then why do you support him? Because you're saying that it's going to take time. That's not telling me why you support him. Why do you support him?
Because of his last time he was president. Food prices were available and housing was available and...
Okay, so what is one thing that he did during his first term that you were a fan of?
I'm not going to lie, I was only 16 when
Okay,
he was
well, if
president.
you don't know what he did, then just don't talk about what he did. It was because you're telling us that you don't know what he did during his first term, then why do you use the basis of what he did during his first term as why you support him today?
I'm hoping he can do the same thing with the prices. That's all I'm hoping.
What did he do to prices during his first term?
Like, this term or last term?
No, his first term. Last term. What did he do to prices that you were a big fan of?
I mean, milk wasn't $4 a gallon. It was more
So
like...
milk was less expensive? What did he do to make milk less expensive? Like, obviously, milk would be less expensive prior to the pandemic that onset global inflation in every country on the face of planet Earth, right?
I'm sorry. You should probably move to the next person. I never really argued with someone before like this, so...
Okay, no worries. By the way, we already got a live restriction here on the It's Not Dean TikTok account. It's not shooting out to anybody new on the For You page. There's a live restriction for harassment and bullying. Apparently I harassed her. Apparently I bullied her. Don't know. Don't know. We're going to end the live early today. We're going to end the live, pretty early, if I'm going to be honest. We're going to get to, 3 hours. We're going to end at 3 hours today. And then just come back tomorrow. I know that kind of sucks, but, TikTok, what can you do? Very unfortunate. If you're watching and you want to support me, you could support me over Venmo and PayPal, which can be found in the link tree in my bio, by the way. But let's move on to the next guest. We'll do maybe one or two, get to 3 hours and end it. Unfortunately, I know. Not too much fun, but it is what it is. Hopefully they stop this shit. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? No, they don't. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest right now, everyone. Hey, man, at least now I'll have an opportunity to go shop for a nice chair. Maybe I could spend my evening doing that. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No, I'm from the Netherlands. Love you.
Appreciate you for that love. Banned. Moving on to the next guest. I'm just kidding. I didn't actually ban you. But we are just looking for Trump supporters. Hi, welcome in. All right, they left. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone give us a minute. We got Liam loading up. Hi, Liam. Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. I just want to say sorry to hear about the ER yesterday.
Oh.
And we need you back in DC, bro.
Well, Liam, I appreciate that. I ended up being just fine. Which is the most preferable outcome. Just fine. Moving on to Molly. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. Oh, what happened? Well, so I've a little bit of cartilage damage on my ribs on the right side of my body, and that cartilage damage just happens to overlay my lung. So every time I'd breathe in or breathe out, obviously it'd like slightly shift that cartilage and hurt it. I mean, that cartilage damage, it repairs. It just kind of sucks, right? It's fine. It's not a big deal. It only takes like 3 or 4 days to feel better. But I thought it was my lung, right? So I thought like my lung was like fucked because every time I breathe in or out, there'd be like sharp pain. And after that was going on for like 7 hours, I went to the ER. But turns out it has nothing to do with the lung, just cartilage damage on my chest wall from the gym, actually. So best possible outcome. Best possible outcome. Nothing to do with the lung. Nothing to do with the lung at all. No lung damage. My lungs are in perfect shape. Never been better. Just kidding. Probably not perfect shape, but you know. All right, everybody. We're going to try with like 1 or 2 more guests if we don't get somebody up here. We're just going to end. Hi, welcome in, Tara. Do you support Trump?
Yes. Hi. I know you're going to kick me off because we have spoken before, but then before when we...
Hi, bye. All right, we'll try like 1 more person. And then if this doesn't work, I'm going to go spend some time with a girlfriend. Make sure to check in on her. Y'all already know. Hi, do you support Trump? Parker? Parker, do you support Trump? That is a small child. Kyla, thank you for the 12 cents over on Venmo saying don't spend it all in one place. No, that'll cover my expenses for 3 months, Kyla. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hear me?
I sure do. Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why do you support Trump?
Because I'm pro-life.
You're pro-life, so you think women should not have legal access to abortion, and why is that?
Because, I mean, first there's the realpolitik aspect of it, which is that abortion is one of the main factors for the declining birth rate, and there's, like, obviously the moral consideration.
Okay, so if you just want to ban abortion to ensure that there's more births, every extra birth that you'll have because of a ban on abortion will be an unwanted child being given to an unready household. That will definitely have a very severe impact on quality of life, with reciprocal consequences on quality of education in the future, which of course would reduce skilled labor, and a huge reduction in skilled labor would have a massive negative impact on our economy, etc.
I mean, like, we have to stop with this, like, GDP worship, which has been used to justify things like mass migration.
I feel like reciprocal effects of economic growth caused by immigration definitely does help justify immigration.
I mean GDP per capita is like the metric we should be looking at, and the GDP per capita is like decreased on average the more mass illegal immigration and legal immigration we have.
Okay, so does this mean that you think real wages have gone down?
No, not in particular.
No, because real wages have gone up.
I have
a question. When I say like goy based, that's like usually like goy. That's a term used by like fans of Fuentes, groypers. Are you a groyper?
Oh yeah, no, of course I'm a groyper.
Okay. Why do you like worship a white supremacist?
I mean he's a nationalist. There's a difference.
He definitely upholds white supremacy. He's also a neo-Nazi.
No, he's not a neo.
He's not a neo-Nazi? Sure he is.
I mean, he doesn't hold to socialism.
No, he thinks that Hitler is a good guy.
He also said Stalin is his idol.
So do you also think that Hitler's a good guy?
I mean, like he's not a good guy per se, but also that also goes to Churchill and Stalin and like.
How many people died as a result of the Holocaust?
I mean, give or take 5 or 6 million.
Jewish individuals specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually the historical number. Typically, groypers reject that. So So I have a question. Why do you support somebody that supports Hitler?
I mean, he also said he supports Stalin.
Okay, that doesn't change the fact that he supports Hitler. Why do you support somebody that supports Hitler? Duh.
I mean, why not?
Why not? Because supporting Hitler is a bad thing? Because Hitler was one of the worst men in global
I
history?
could recognize he did something. He supports some bad stuff and some good stuff. I don't agree with all of his takes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move on. He actually left on its own before I even kicked him. Yeah. No, totally. We kick people like that. That's just so crazy to me. Like, we kick people like that. We remove people from the stream like that. Dude, like, literal just like, oh, Hitler. Oh, why shouldn't I? Bro, fuck you. Eat shit. Like, honestly, I think that's like the only warranted reaction. Fuck you, eat shit, get off my live. Dude. Deshaun, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you for that love, Deshaun. Deshaun says Trump loves the poor and uneducated. Sure he does. He wants to keep them poor and uneducated too. Jillian with the $10 saying Nick Fuentes is absolutely Nazi. Yeah, duh. Fucking obviously. Like what? Like, I don't know. Like, you don't really see people reject that. You know, like in fact, a lot of the Groypers will argue he's not good enough of a Nazi. Oh Jesus. Oh, now the Groypers found the live. Now there's another one. Check this. I'm going to give you all the very fair reaction to a Groyper. Hey, fuck you, eat shit. There you go. Look at that. That's how you're supposed to react to Groypers, chat. That's how you're supposed to do it. Moving on to the next guest coin. Here we go, everyone. Just give us a minute. Welcome into Sport Trump.
Yo, Dean Tate, do you still sell those dog shit crypto courses?
Yeah, bro. Hop in the DMs. I'll sell you one on the low.
I'm ready. Is like how much you charging? $300?
Nah.
You still like scamming people on the internet?
I think I'm gonna have to do it for Bitcoin and a half.
Yeah.
But it's a long-term investment, bro. It's a long-term investment.
Stay broke, bro.
Why do you support Trump? Oh, he left. Oh God, he's obviously just pissed off because he didn't get on the e-rich lifestyle soon enough. All right, let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2005 October.
Okay, and what time is it?
1933. 7:34.
It's 7:34.
No.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I had to do the math quickly. 7:34. Okay, and what state are you in?
I'm in South Carolina.
Okay. All right. You know, whatever. We don't really have anybody in the queue. If you're not actually American, who cares? Whatever. Why do you support Trump?
I am.
Okay.
Huh?
Why do you support Trump?
Because he fights for women's rights.
He took women's rights away from 66 million American women and girls by instructing the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, which sent it to the state level, which has led to states banning it. Right? Like, also keep in mind that he himself has infringed and violated women's rights, such as the rights of the naked women and girls that were getting. Oh, and we got banned. Oh, great. I think I got it taken away from me because I told people to eat shit. Whoops. Can't do that. Can't do that. I forgot. That would be my bad. I did say fuck you, eat shit. Those are words that came out of my mouth. Okay. Oh. Can't even tell a Nazi to eat shit anymore. What? We are living under a fascist regime. TikTok is a fascist regime. You can't even tell Nazis to eat shit anymore. Oh, brother. Oh, Mr. Trump, we want to stay. Don't ban us. Don't ban us. No, please. No, please, Mr. Trump. Don't ban us. Oh, I'll take them down for criticizing the Nazis. I will. Oh, my God. Dude. Got sniped. Bread with the $10 on Super Chat saying TikTok bribe again. Yeah, low-key, I'm not even mad. I was about to get off anyways. And this is a random backup account that I never use. So. Oh my god. I'm just like so desensitized to all these bands. But dude, they're so bad. Holy fuck. I go to war every single day. Let me tell y'all. I'm going to be bald by like 23. Okay. My face is going to be wrinkled like that of a 75-year-old before I have my first child. I should title or retitle these streams cortisol maxing. Because that's what it does. That's what it does to me. I'm cortisol maxing. And it's brutal. It is so brutal. I'm not already bald, says somebody in the YouTube chat. No, I'm not. Look at my hair. It's right here, quite frankly. I'm going bald, though. Yo, but don't worry. I got medication for that. Okay. All right, listen. I'm going to go hop off for the evening. Going to go spend some time with a girlfriend. I love you all. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. What a rough day today. What a rough day today. And hopefully tomorrow will be better. 1 point before we hop off here. The live stream tomorrow is going to be later. I usually do my live streams around 1 p.m. Mountain, which is like 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Tomorrow, it's going to be closer to 3 Mountain, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. So a little later in the afternoon. Anyways, see y'all then. Peace and love. Bye-bye.